What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another deck. This is my deck choice for the PD 500 for season 25. Of course, it's the Flash Knot, Vandal Knot deck list, whatever you want to call it. I picked my deck like weeks ago. Probably if you've seen all the content, it'd be like at least three videos on this deck, and it's really good. It's like really good. For the first time ever, it's probably the best deck in the format. It definitely is, in my opinion. It's won the most tournaments. It's just very strong. It's because of flip out the back. Just having a turn 2 13 is just like really warping on it on a format. So it's pretty good. There are like, some bad matchups here and there, but it's not, I don't know. Sometimes you just can overpower people with this. So I'm playing it, of course. This is my quick rundown. Most of the cards mostly the same. I have some minor choices here and there. But yeah, I'm definitely on the Fairy Vandal train. It's just better in the mirror. When you can either hold up counter spell or have a Fairy Vandal or just flash in a Vandal, whatever. I don't play a ton of cantrips like other lists do, so I only have really like 12 ways to kind of trigger if you include the sandbar. So they don't really get too big. I'm not really too worried about that. If it gets to like a 3-4, I'm pretty happy, but I guess getting to that point can be kind of hard. Um, yeah, the enablers here, slip at the back is the best one, of course. I've been really big on Trick Bind. I think it's really better when you play with Kira, which I was playing main deck. It's actually relegated to the sideboard here, and I'm also trying out Disallow. And by trying out, meaning I've never actually played it with it yet until today. I haven't really done a ton of testing. I've been really just busy with like real life stuff, so there's been a kind of a video drought. So this is more of a theory based. Ripple, I've always cited out Reality Ripple. I know how good it can be against like Wrath decks, things like that, but you should be like okay against that deck anyway. So I wanted just another sort of trick mind effect that was also like that would also do something else. So I have Disallow here, which is like cancel or trick bind. So I'm fine with that. Bro, Ponder, Cruise, all pretty good. I had to cut the Illumination just for other things. I don't really know. Like I think two Cruise is the best number. Three could be a little much, but there's a lot of a low downslide on him decks. So if like hymns come out to play, I'm probably going to lose to them. But I like the two. I think two is just like the right amount. Sternus Missile, I've always found this to be the best unsummon, although it can unsummon your own creatures. But now I'm playing main deck Vapor Snag, mostly because I think like there are more aggro decks now, like red deck, white weenie, things like that. Those are pretty strong. So I wanted some extra sort of oomph for the main deck. Spell Pierce was actually Piracy Charm because of the aggro meta that I think is going to happen here, but I do want a little more protection for like Dreadnoughts and things like that. So Spell Pierce got the nod over Pirate's Charm. But the idea of Pirate's Charm was that it kills small creatures, or in the mirror, you could Island Walk your things, which almost was awesome. I think Spell Pierce main deck is just probably good enough. And then Lose Focus, the best like 2 mana carousel we have here. Sideboard here, the full 4 complement of Vapor Snags. It's actually more for the mirror too. I really want to focus on beating the mirror, so just having like 8 unsummons is pretty strong. That matchup is very like board present heavy. You really want to get on the board and protect whatever you have on the board. So if you can just overload like on a bunch of unsummons, that's pretty good. Kira again, mostly for like sideboards or like removal heavy decks where you can kind of like need an extra layer. Kira's pretty good. So I'm trying out a threads over the third wipe away. Threads you can actually can bring in against like this small aggro decks. It's not like it's a fine like control magic, but I mean I could probably play control magic, but it's like 4 mana. And I don't really want to do that. So threads is kind of what I like because like you can't really play wipe away um against like a white weenie deck. I don't think, but I think threads is a bit better for that slot. And I would love to steal another person's dreadnought. That'd be great. That'd be so great. I'm on the Graveyard Hate Train. I think Oops is gonna be a really good deck, so I'm on the 2 Gravestones as well as Curse of Tome, which basically stops the Fate Stitcher part of it or whatever, or like I guess like a zombie, things like that. And then the rest of the Spell Pierces, Memory Lapses for when all the unsummons are really bad. So we're gonna bring some of those in, probably with like Kiras as well, just extra threats. So yeah, the PD 500 is gonna start here. I'm actually about 15 minutes out from doing the initial announcements. So you're gonna sorry, we're gonna start at round 2 because I have a round 1 bye. So when you jump into the coverage here, it'll be round 2. So thanks for all the new subs. I know I haven't been like doing much lately, but again, real life. takes priority over this fun hobby of mine. But yeah, thanks for joining me on this really long season, and hopefully season 26 is just as good. So let's get to the coverage. All right, round one, two rather. I had to buy round two with the Draenei deck. I'm gonna keep this hand. Um, it does have like Delver. Doesn't have anything to do with this though. All right. Probably some sort of him deck, because I expected from Garcia, who always plays him decks and always kind of beats me. Why is this so small? Okay. This is the first time I played on this new client. The latest clients. Everything's like really freaking me out. Alright, I have a lot of lands, but that's why Lily Sandbar is here. I kind of could have just held up Spell Pierce here for the him, but I guess I have to make the choice of either killing this or hemming me. They're gonna him. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, maybe I'll just play I think I'll still play defensively there with the Spell Pierce, but speed blind. Nope, not a blind flip. Alright. Because like the Delver, like, it isn't good. Like, I want to keep cards in my hand. So maybe I was just like playing this badly. Especially being on the draw there. I could have known. But I can counter the second him. Alright. Why is that so small? Oh my goodness. Okay, double Spell Pierce. I'm stocked. And actually cleared the top off. Well, that's fine. At least I could trick bind a gatekeeper trigger. That's kind of fun. Heartless Act. I will Spell Pierce this. Now I'm gonna try to just protect my threat. Lash right. I guess I'm gonna Spell Pierce this too. Why not? That's kind of just remove a threat. It's gonna be annoying if I draw like an unsummon here. I have so many in my deck. Okay, Ponder's great. I can find a Dreadnought here. That's a shuffle. That's a big shuffle. I like Cruise. Try to mitigate that him. Yeah, I'll run the Delver out. I'll probably hit him with a probe. Let's see what's up. Oh, of course. Clear the top off again. So Nighthawk, Sign of Blood, Flash. That's actually a pretty good hand for them. Sorry, I'm just trying to... The TOing thing. TOing and doing this all at once is kind of tough, because I want to make sure everyone gets in their games. Okay, one more. 1 second. Okay. So I gotta get around this Nighthawk somehow, but I have a million unsummons, as I've mentioned before. I could find one of these. There's one of them. Okay. Alright, snag you. Now I have lose focus for the comeback. And that should be it. I mean, they can only really play that or find a removal spell. There are some scarier cards coming in, maybe. I'm gonna pay the 1 in case they have Dark Ritual. In case they do Dark Ritual here. So I'm gonna replicate that. Because if they had Dark Ritual, then they pay for it, and I'm just kind of boned, so. Alright. That's a good game. Even though I got himmed with a Spell Pierce in my hand. Alright, in this matchup, I typically, like... actually like having all the spell pierces. Is weird. They actually showed Last Ride, so I actually really like spell pierce, and I do like just a bunch of counters and just kind of like soft protection here. So I actually didn't mind Vapor Snag there. They did kind of show a bunch of other like interesting cards. I'm gonna keep Disallow in. Uh, I'll normally would actually board it all the removal, but having a couple is not that bad. I can play Threads. Oh, it's mana value 2 or less. I thought it was 3. Um, hmm. Yeah, normally I would take out Vapor Snags, but I guess I can keep a couple in. Probe? Laptop not even that good, but it's kind of good in the late game. Kira might not even be that great either. Yeah, this is the part where I just shave probes. Even though it's pretty good. Where am I at here? Let's see. Mm, well, I do have the thing, but it's not a great hand if I get him the bunch. The thing. The 4 mana thing. I'm actually gonna mulligan. Mulliganing against a him deck is not great. Uh Sounds a little worse. I'm actually keep it though. I'm gonna keep on the strength of ponder. Hopefully I don't get like duressed here. This is tough. But I think I'll just play the Delver. I found the land, which is actually amazing. So I can start member lapsing things. Sorry. TO stuff. Feed. Okay, that's fine. If I find the thing here, it's gonna be amazing. The slip out the back. Okay, didn't. I'm gonna hold memory lapse up. I don't want to get himmed at all. Or I could just like stop at 3-drop. Sign in blood. Sure, I guess. Okay. Well, this is kind of exposure, but this is not great. But I am gonna expose. This is where Real Ripple would have been a little bit better, but you know what? It's fine. I chose this path. Dark Ritual. How you just okay? You know what? I chose this path. What else do we have here? A him? That's pretty good. That was a good turn. That was a pretty good turn. I would love to draw a cruise now. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna lapse this just for the sake of lapsing something at this point. I have nothing really to protect. Okay, I have a Vandal. Hope this brings out a him. I mean, they could just go him, Nighthawk, but I'm just looking basically for I need a cruise like right now or a ponder. All right, they're kind of bricking too. This is very winnable. Okay. Can't really Vapor Snag this, so I'm gonna take the 4, probably end of turn Vapor Snag this. If I could just get this to a 2-3, I can kind of mitigate this Gatekeeper. Okay, now I can ambush. I can ambush his Gatekeeper now. I would lose one, but it's not a big deal. Oh. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell here, but I'm definitely gonna ambush. Alright, please no Heartless Act. That would be such a bummer. Don't do it. Don't do it. No! No! They just drew it! No. They literally just drew that. I know they did. Okay. I'm still live for a cruise. Okay, that's not good. That actually gives them haste. That's I think I'm just dead. They move this over. Alright. Alright, alright. See, I kinda like the Vapor Sags in this matchup. Ugh, that was such a brutal thing, but I don't think it could have stopped the lash, right? Um, kind of really actually like the unsummons here, except against the gatekeepers. Hmm. Yeah, I think on the play, I think I might just keep Vapor Snag in. Try something like this. Still pretty high in disallow for some reason. Um, this hand is close. This hand's really close. I'm gonna keep. No, it doesn't do anything. If I draw nothing, it doesn't. I am on the draw. It's like I'm gonna keep. This is a very like this is a hand I don't like keeping, but mulliganing against a him deck bad. Like I have like multiple counter spells to like kind of play a slower game. I have a couple of enablers as well. Or slash counter spell. The rest would be the worst card to see. Okay. Ritual Nighthawk's actually kind of scary. But it's fine. Okay. Still think at the hand that beats Ritual Nighthawk. This is the only card in their hand though. This is I could find an unsummon here. Okay, I'm drawing only counter spells. This is why I don't like these hands. But you don't have a threat. You don't really do much. This was a great turn one play for them. Okay, so I'm gonna counter this. Actually, I might just lapse this just to give myself some more time. Okay, so many counter spells. I don't need this much. Probably just lose focus the next one. Ugh, not like this. Do something, deck. Do anything. Okay, this one I will lose focus. I won't replicate. If they burn a Dark Ritual first, I'm totally fine with it. Okay, I'm really far away from cruising as well. Alright. Mm. Yeah, we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to bide the time here. Yeah, everyone just kind of like flutters to their matches. But that's what happens. Alright. Now I kind of wish that Threads of Disloyalty was a control magic I most wanted to play. Sign in Blood. I don't really like this. I actually want to disallow this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I need to fill my graveyard. I absolutely need to fill my graveyard for the cruise, so I just need to counter anything. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. This is shields down moment, but I'm really not anywhere close to anything. I'm not paying the 2 for that. This is one of the worst, bro. This is one of the worst cruises. I've yet to draw a threat. It's a demigod, of course. Alright, so I need a lot of unsummons at this point. Cool. It's the last card in their hand. Feed. Wow. That was a horrible hand. I don't know. This is why I don't keep these kinds of hands. I feel like I've proved myself a lesson where if you just keep only reactive hands and you don't get on board and that's what happens. Oh well. Alright, round 5. This has been a fun tournament so far. After losing round 2, after my bye, I've had 2 no-shows. 2! So somehow I'm 3-1. I did not do anything wrong. This is crazy. But finally I'm here. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's actually pretty decent. Turn 1, Delver with a probe. Playing against Cloud. Oh, I think they're playing Greenpost. Okay. And they're 3-1. Alright, let me get a probe on. See how bad this looks so far. Kind of just dodging like a Sylvan Scrying, but they had it anyway. Cleared off the plains or the island off the top, so that's pretty good. They have no green mana other than the talisman, so okay, let's see. No. This is kind of awkward. I'm just gonna flash in the Vandal and Ponder. I feel like I have a little bit of time. They don't have a lot of ramp. I mean, they could ramp this to another Cloud Post, but I've got a lot of time, I think. The Stern Dismissal's really bad, but I mean, if they just like play this, so they could like get a Cloud. Well, they already made a land drop, so this is kind of awkward. But they've already made their Mouth of Ruin drop, so it's kind of weird. Okay. See if I can make this flip. No. Okay. Hmm. I kind of want the slip. I can just start pumping my creatures here. Trying to really kill my opponent as fast as possible. I think I might just slip both my creatures, given where my hand is right now. Okay, Relic. Relic, they can actually play the Vampire, but I have the Cernus Missile if they want to get really frisky here. Alright, just gonna put some counters on my creatures, flip this. I'm gonna probe just to get the island out of my hand. My hand is not great, but they are in a 2-turn clock now. I'm not gonna cycle this until I absolutely need to. Why do I see all these cards all of a sudden? Oh, I probed them, that's why. Okay, so they could Primal Command something, I guess? No, they can't. It's like non-creature. I guess Tooth and Nail would be really bad, but if I find a counter spell, it'd be pretty great. They could just play the Methadros, but they've already added a green, so... They can gain 7. I suppose they could gain 7 here. Okay, gain 7, search for a creature. So I can't lose focus. They have like 5 mana actually, so it's just gonna have to happen. I guess I could find Triskelion or something and try to shoot everything. But that's like a long time. What creature can they find here? I've drawn an awkward amount of lands. Okay, they are gonna find Triskelion. I could actually find a trick bind and really just get them with the trick bind. I'm gonna hold this for the card draw. But they have to really sequence this like really crazily. They can't Matharona on my guy, so got a lot of interesting takes. They've sequenced this game very awkwardly. They could have more mana up front. Okay. This is a long setup, but I mean, I don't think you have enough time to like do all this. Let's say like find a tooth and nail, and I found a loose focus, so um, I guess I cycle this to pump. Okay. I don't need to probe them again. I could just hold this in case I need to pump this guy. Alright, so they're gonna go for the vampire, which does fly. I think I'm kind of okay with them playing vampire here. Unless they have just tooth and nail. But I could definitely just counter down to tooth and nail. If they just play a vampire, I don't actually care. Alright, they're gonna primal command again. What happens here? Have they made a land drop? They gain another 7. They haven't made a land drop. So they're feigning land drop. This is their hand right now. Plus an unknown. If they just play a creature, I just bounce it and I kill them. So um oh, too much. 2. Okay, cool. All right. That took a while for to do the cyber part. So I don't like any of the bounce spells here. I'm definitely this is one of those games where you just kind of take out the bounce spells and you bring in like the random counter magic that I have. So memory lapse, the other two pierces. Maybe wipe aways. Wipe away is just kind of like wipe away is just kind of like a bounce spell for lands. I could play Curse of Totem as well for like Triskelion, but that should like never resolve. Small Pierce does get a little worse over time, but it's good to counter the early stuff. So yeah, I kind of like all of this. I'll bring in Wipe Away in. Sure, why not? I actually like these matches. I don't know, just the blue tempo deck. If you get something early on and you just spell pierce your way through this, that's pretty fine. Okay, I'm gonna keep this hand. Turn one Delver, gotta love it. Turn one Glimmer Post, not as great. All right, double Glimmer Post. Not the strongest start. You won't really want to hold those for as long as you can. Why don't they have something like a Spatial Contortion? That'd be pretty nice for them. If this flips, I'm not going to Ponder. I'm just going to hold Loose Focus. No, so I will Ponder this. I like, kind of like all of this. Um, Not really, do I? Well, I want to flip the Delver, so I want to keep the Cruise. Yeah, Fugitive Wizard is great. It's gonna turn. Alright. Relics, whatever. Kinda gotta have the relics so I can flip this. I might just slip. No, I have time to like find the 12-12 real quick. They have a lot of life to play with. Give me 1 second. Ancient Stirring, sure. Did he whiff? Oh, they found a Cloud Post. Why did they reveal that? So weird. I was like, they can't whiff there. Alright, show Cruise. My hand's like not great, but I mean, I have a Flip Delver, so what could go wrong? Their man or their mana development's not very good. Like they've okay, I mean, they found the Cloud Post, but it's whatever. You know what? Oh, I'm lagging. MTU has been on too long. Okay. Cycle this. Oh my god, that's a lot of lands. Attack with everyone. I mean, they can't just slam the tooth and nail, so I have a 3-turn clock. Just gotta buy some time. They have another Cloud Post. That's not good. All right, this loose focus all of a sudden looks terrible. Are they gonna go for the raw tooth and nail? I love it. Do I slip now? No, I might because I think I'm just cruising this turn if I find nothing. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, this loose focus looks great. Look how many lands I have. This loose focus is awesome. If I would have slipped, I think I would have had a 2-turn clock. So maybe I kind of miscalculated. Or I would have killed them next turn. But now that if this is a miscutter, are they just gonna miscutter me? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. If I just slipped my guy, I would have won. Oh no. If I just would have held this. Oh. Oh, it's so brutal. Yeah, I can't phase it. I can't. All right, well, touche. Touche. All right. All right. Well, bad times for all of us. I think I really don't have anything else to sideboard in. If they have it, they have it. I really don't have anything against Mistcutter. It is their best route to victory. Maybe I just get a 13-13 and play real quick. That'd be nice. A little 12-12 action, huh? That'd be nice. If I just would have like slipped my Delver or whoever, it would have been I could have just killed them, but that's all me. I'm gonna keep. This is not bad. Hmm. I'm gonna hold this because I just need to draw a third land, so I can just play the Vandal Probe. Interesting. Um, I'll just hold Spell Pierce here. I want to just counter something. I kind of want to counter this. Yeah, I'm gonna counter this. I think this is kind of an aggressive counter. I just need a land. I would just play a Dreadnought here. I think it could be okay. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna just. I probe myself. Oh, I probe them. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, of course. Oh my goodness, this is bad. They have so much mana now. Oh my god, they have power, but they have nothing else. This is really bad though. They can get double. Okay. Hmm. Well, I mean, they don't have much. All right. Well, here's my thing. Well, here's that. So that's all I got. All right, and we now we wait. God, they have so many glimmer posts. Another hour. They're getting so much life. They're probably just gonna find it with this hour promise. Or they just go. They get double glimmer posts. They have mystifying maze. That's amazing. I love that for them. And they could just shoot this if they wanted to. Okay. Mm. All right. Well, I get one attack in before I can find one of my 3 other trick binds in my deck. Okay, they're gonna take that much. I can still try to win this with flyers, but it's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long road here. Oh, man, if I just had Kira in my deck instead of, I mean, I could have Wipe Away. Wipe Away actually is also pretty good against Mystifying Maze. They found a Mouth of Ronom. But they played a forest already? They didn't attack. They can't block. Well, they could block. Wait, this is... Oh, it just like... Oh, no. So I can never attack again with it. And the counters fall off of this? Oh my gosh. That's right. It's actually different from Labyrinth of Scoposis. Because the Labyrinth just like untaps it and removes from combat. This actually exiles it, which is actually insane. Okay, well, I'm cruising, I guess. Because I need to find something to stop that before they can do anything. Okay. Um. Hmm. This is awkward. But at least I can block. I could block a. I could block a miscutter. Not a gigantic one, but I could block one now. I can't really attack into the maze. This is really it's really scary. They could mouth my Very Vandal here if they want. Okay. Just kind of in a holding pattern. Man, if I had Kira in my deck, this is great. Yeah, this card is huge. Not good. I'll do one cycle. No, I'll just wait. I just need a Trick Bind or Trick Bind, Disallow, or Wipe Away. And I could probably kill them. Probably. Before they draw their Miscutter. Sick Lapse, too. Lapse could, like, slow the game down a second. All my soft counters are so bad. So... Alright. Alright. 2 Sandbars and a Dream. Oh, God. Is this just like a Tooth and Nail? No, I can't do that. I'll lapse this. Alright. I'm on the clock now. Now I have to do something. What can they get? I mean, they could wipe all the lands. That'd be pretty good. But then they would die to the Dreadnought, right? So not even a real... I have to flip this and, like... I have to flip this and do this? There's a Ponder. I'm just digging. It's a loose focus, not good. They gotta pay for the loose focus. I found the Trick Bind. That's actually the perfect card right now. Math. 5. They have 7. That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, they have 7 to my... Okay. Attack? Who's laughing now at Trick Bind? Who's laughing now? I should have pondered first. I don't know why I didn't ponder. Alright, Trick Bind that. Wait, they have 7. Wait, yeah, that's right. I'm right. Math! Math! Let's keep going. Trick Bind good. Trick Bind good. Reality probably would have done the same thing, but who's counting? All right, back with the round 6. My opponent was undefeated for a long time. I think until this round, but they're playing White Weenie, but they're playing human ally White Weenie with a couple of like interesting cards. But I do have a turn 2 12 and a 2-1-7, so I'm gonna keep this hand. Or 13-13. But they're playing with like Champion of the Parish with a bunch of like had a free blade and then a bunch of like changeling cards to pump all these creatures. It's very interesting. They've gotten pretty far, but I have finally have my best hand. So I will definitely run with this. The White Weenie's been a force, I think. A bit out so far, but so far at the top of the tournament, there's like blue red from Honor Bound. Cycling is undefeated right now. Um, according to my like, I don't know what MTG Lou's playing. I'm gonna Vapor Snag this just to save some life. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of ally. It's an ally deck, but it's also like human based because all the good allies are pretty much human. All right, no Cathar Commando, please. I don't have anything. I guess I have to lose focus for the Cathar Commando. By the way, who likes the $6, 650 Dreadnoughts I bought for this tournament? 650, 650, $6.50 for these Dreadnoughts. Yeah, they could just resolve it on their turn. That's true. That's true. And I need 3 mana anyway, so. There's a bug on me. There is a bug on me. Gross. Changeling of the. Oh my god. The changelings. Well, they can't get through the 13-13, though. I mean, this. Xander Blademasters has so much text on it. It's actually pretty insane. Alright. Well, don't care. Swinging in. They have 1 card left in their hand. I don't know how they're going to kill me. I'll just bounce this now. They're just... There's nothing... There's no reason not to do it when they're tapped out, I think. They have a factory. I don't know if they could really stop this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but they're more on the White Weenie range of it. Okay, so this is my anti-White Weenie strategy. I'm gonna board out this. Probably cruises too. I could probably, or the Pierces are really bad. Bring the snags in. I like thread. I'm gonna bring in threads. I'm gonna bring in the Kiras as well. I think that's good. I'm gonna keep 8. I guess I keep 8 cruise. It's like a cruise or a disallow. I don't really know. Disallow might be actually mildly better. I don't know. Kira's kind of awkward though. Actually, I'll keep the disallow in. White Blade, I don't think is that good. Memory Lapse could be okay. Actually, Memory Lapse might be okay. But then I have to cut all this. Actually, I don't know if I love Kira. I may like Memory Lapse a bit more. Alright. I think they just want a champion to be really good. It feels like their deck is mostly like Champion of Parish and How to Freeblade being their best 1-drops. So, I mean, Champion is good with Battle Singer, kind of, but... So, yeah, but it doesn't really trigger their other thing. I'm gonna Bollock in this hand. It's not, like, super awesome. I'm gonna go to 5. I'll keep. This is a good 5-card hand. I'll keep the Dreadnought in case I draw a slip in a land. No 1-drop. Wow. Okay. Alright. I would love a land draw here. So I could just, if even if I don't hit the land, if I don't flip this, I could like set the thing. No. Okay. Delver. Ponder. Okay, I will not set up this thing. Hmm. I'm not gonna probe yet. I don't think I need. I don't think I'd want to. I just need these things to flip. That'd be great. It's gonna be really terrible when this is a land or a creature on top. Or the one enchantment in my deck. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, let me probe now. So they also have 2 lands in their hand. What is this? Um, so I don't want them to search party captain if they draw a land. That'd be kind of awkward. So their hand is full of 2-drops, so I'm just gonna plow the field. Make them rebuild. Sure. So they have another Blade Master and the other 3/1. It's gonna take them a while to get through this. Alright, and the race is mine. Maybe. If I draw a Vapor Snag, I guess the game is over. Stance. Duck, duck, duck. Okay. Snapcaster would be great. Wish I had Snapcaster. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, cool. I drew the Vapor Snag. Of course I did. Ah, good old Vapor Snag. Why did I leave you behind? Good old Vapor Snag. Alright. On to the next one. Let's go. Alright, round 7 of the Panic Over 500. Playing against Crazy Battle, who's playing mono red. Definitely need to win this to top 8. I'm the last 15, so. Um, just knowing they're playing mono red, I know this card's gonna be really bad. This card's not great, but I do have a Delver. And not much else. I'm gonna actually mulligan. I don't think this hand is good enough. This hand, I think it's much better. I will keep. Um, sure, I'll just bin this. I mean, if they play like main deck, like answers to Dreadnoughts, it's gonna be pretty good. That's what Probe is here to find out. All right. Let's see. I will probe. So they have Incinerate. They have Experimental Frenzy. And I found the thing. We're doing the thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. All right, Pyromancer. I take a bunch. I might have the block. I don't know. I have a bunch of Stern Dismissal in my hand, though. This is not a good Stern Dismissal card. No. Alright, slip my guy. I have double dismissal, so, I mean, hopefully that's enough. I would love a Spell Pierce, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm definitely blocking. My life total needs to stay high. They have a couple of burn spells. They're going to have this thing coming off. I might just chain this. I think I'm going to just chain this. Yeah, the card that like they could play is Raise the Effigy, which is basically like a pump spell for attackers or a smelt. Both also very annoying cards. Earthshaker, okay. That's a lot of damage. Yeah. I'm probably not gonna pay the mana. Because if they draw a land, I just die. Gotta hold this back. I can definitely. Yeah, I have to block. I have blocked double unsummon here. If they do have a shatter though, it's gonna be pretty bad. Because I have no protection against it. Alright, block this. Unsummon this. Can't go to 6. They have like 6 burn, 6 life. 6 points of damage in their hand. Hold? Oh! We hold. Alright. That's the game to steal. That's the game to steal. Off the back of a Dreadnought. Off the greatest probe of all time. Okay. Um, I don't have much to sideboard here, honestly. I guess I could snag. Lapse could be okay. It's not like the greatest card, but it's kind of good in the late game. I actually like. Actually, Spellpierce could be not bad. Spellpierce might be a little better than Lapse. I'm gonna keep the Spellpierces in that I have. I'm just gonna call it the big stuff. Something like this. I could play Pierces. Yeah, I think I need Pierces, actually. I'm just gonna have all the 1 mana. Oh, wait, Kira. No, I need Kira. I don't need Kira, but I would like Kira. Yeah, let's do this. I don't know why I'm playing Threads, but it could be good. It could be okay. I don't know if I need to be playing Threads over Pierce. We'll see. I probably should play Spell Pierce. Okay, if I draw a Dreadnought, this is really good. Otherwise, I'm just stalling for a bit, so I'm gonna keep. I'm on the draw here. Okay, figure. Wow. Well, it gets blown up as Vapor Snag. Oh, hey, look at that. They just hold up 1 red mana. It's gonna be pretty great. Okay. I'll just unsummon this one, I guess. Okay. We'll do this again. This time I don't have protection. I don't have anything. So if they have something to do, this is pretty good. Alright, here come the shatters. Here they come. You can't get this far and not have the answer to it. I know they play Rizzy Effigy for sure. We watched another match where they had it. Ooh. Alright, I'll attack. They don't have it. Interesting. Alright, I pass. Sure. Hold? Not saying much, I just gotta hold. Okay. Gonna make me sweat this, huh? I don't need to unsummon this. I could flash something in. They have like two things though. I'm gonna flash this in. They can have like two things. Well, if they have two things, I mean, you got me. Okay. Wow. I wonder if they just like sandbag that, because if they did it on my upkeep, I would have just died. Or I would have just the thing would have died, but dang. Yeah, it was worth. Alright. I think that's the top 8. Oh. Alright, top 8 here with the Dreadnought deck. Kind of bubbled my way into this, but here we are. Jace here is playing Mono Black Devotion. Basically like a hymn deck with a different kind of kill setup. This hand would be okay if I had a creature. I mean, a Spellburst would be nice if it's the first hymn, but everything else is like not great. Like if I draw a Dreadnought, it'd be pretty good, but I need to draw an island as well. I'm gonna mulligan, but I'm not keen to mulliganing much. Okay, I'm gonna keep this hand. It does have everything I want. Okay. Okay. Alright, turn 1 Delver insulates me against what do you call it? Gatekeeper, I guess. But I have double slip as well, so when you're good, you're good. Here we go. Alright, don't want him. Okay, that's fine. They do play stuff like Diabolic Edict, which is pretty annoying to see, but I'm gonna put the screws to them. So let me look at this top 8 real quick. So I don't know what Cryo is playing, but everyone else, top to bottom, Mono Red Burn, Blue Red Alliance, Mono Black Devotion, Aggro Slide, Red White Slide, Black White Midrange, myself playing the Mono Blue deck, Oops All Spells, and Cryo. Actually don't know what they're playing, but if anyone can help me out with that, that'd be good. If anyone knows what Cryo is playing, let me know. Okay. I will attack. Do they have a 4-drop? Teamer? Oh, are they the Teamer value deck? I'm gonna just loose focus this. I'll pay the 1. No, if they have a Dark Ritual, I just slip here. If they have Dark Ritual, I just slip, and it's fine. Okay. I guess they could have had... I don't know, they can't have, like, Vendetta or something. I don't know what they could have here. Alright, turn 2, 13-13. That's... They came in... Oh, yeah, they can't... That's right. It's a Cabal Stronghold. What am I talking about? Okay. Alright, so... I don't really like unsummons against this deck in particular. I don't think they're actually playing Nighthawks, so... I'm just gonna go with my gut here and just go with Memory Lapses, some Kira's. Kira's not, like, super great, though, if they're playing, like... I saw them play Diabolic Edict, so I'm not really sure how good it's gonna be. But let's just go with this. Let's just go with my game plan and stick with it. I forgot they had the Cabal Stronghold, you're right. So they're playing Teamer Jogelhops. Cry, that's funny. That's a crazy top 8. I'm gonna keep. Sand seems okay. I just need lands. I might just get him out of this game though, so we'll see. Yeah, let's ponder. Hmm. I do with the land, so I guess I have another ponder, but we'll see. If they hit my land, it's gonna be really rough. Okay, that's not great. Hmm. All right, let's probe a bunch. See what's up. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. the edict gets around the Kira, which is so funny. Ponder. This is all not bad. I kind of want to just like protect myself against another him. Or so they can't gatekeeper, which is really funny. A raw gatekeeper though. They could raw gatekeeper. Sure. I have to be careful here. Um, it's kind of a tricky spot. They have a lot of like removal. This is the big problem here. I hope they just like snap this off when I flash this in. Alright, now I can play for Spell Pierce. That's kind of rough. Okay. Well, I actually hope they kind of do this. They edict me now. Okay. I don't get the angle. Um, it's kind of rough. I kind of want to force the edict here. Yeah, I think I want to force the edict just for the attack first. Okay. So confused. They're just gonna edict me in response, right? And I'm gonna keep the Kira. I think I keep the Kira. I wish I had a Dispel. This is the only time I wish I had Dispel. So, sure. This is fine. If I draw a Dreadnought, I'm really set up. They drew a land, okay. I mean, I guess I get double Bloodchief's Thirst, which is kind of funny. I am lower than a life total, so I gotta be careful. So yeah, I guess they could like, yeah, they could just double Dreadnought or double Thirst. That is kind of rough. They could take the Kira shield off and then just Thirst again. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But I do have Swell. Oh, Swiper's not good now. Alright. Definitely countering the Core Lash here. Yeah, 12/12 is not great on this board. Unless I could, like, find a bunch of lands. Okay. Cruise would be nice. Cruise would be real nice at some point. But it ups the clock. This is make mana. Gatekeeper kicked, huh? I guess I could like trick bind the trigger, but I actually don't want the 12, the 6, the 2/2 in play. What color is this? How much toughness is this? Oh man, this is kind of tough. Yeah, I have to disallow this. Man, disallow made top 8. That's cool. Okay. I'm not gonna be double Bloodchief Thirst, so I need to force it somehow. Duress. Yeah, my hands have that. I mean, they could take the Trick Bind, I guess. It's way better than the Spell Pierce. I'll give you that. I definitely need a Cruise here. Cruise would just open this game wide. Open this game up. All right, flashing this Vandal. Disallow. Okay. Um, so if they kind of burn all their stuff here, I mean, I could just like counter this. But I'm going pretty low. Ravenous Chupacabra. I'll have to disallow this. I could have actually no. I mean, I could have no. I need to kill that. Where's my cruise? Where's my ponder? Where's a probe or something? Okay, I'm gonna pay the mana for this one. I already know what's in their hand. So now I can block this, but that's not really good because they just like double thirst me. I don't know if I really want to like block here, but because now they have like gate. No, they have Great Merchant. Great Merchant just killed me, so I just have to hang out. I think they just double thirst me. But they drew Great Merchant. I'm just dead. Hit me. Sure. I think I have to trade. Yeah, I'm just gonna trade down here because I my draws are like really bad. Okay, if I draw a 12-12, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna hold this for removal spells. I'm not just gonna like whip it out really nilly. Okay, they have an edict. I have to save this, I think. Yeah, I definitely have to save this. If I draw a 12-12, it's gonna be so embarrassing though. Okay, I'll play the land. I don't want to get him. Hmm. Oh, what is this? This is a Gray Merchant. Oh, blood. That's so good right now. It's so good right now. But it's scary too. It's actually really scary. Okay, they're gonna go to 5. So this is gonna flip. Okay, that's kind of huge. Okay, if I draw any cantrip, it kills them. I guess if they play a creature, if they have a creature, I guess they could just sack a creature. They have so much mana though. The Stronghold makes a lot of mana for 3. It makes 6, so they have 9. So wait, they have 6 mana. I have to just super counter this. 4? It's gonna be sad if I had a duress, but this is not a swamp. Alright, same. This is for 10. They need 10 mana to counter this. They only have 7. I mean, they have another removal spell, and it's okay. I'd have to find something else to kill them with. Wow, the Teamer deck beat Mono Red, so that's Teamer in the top 4. Aw, what do they have? Feed the Swarm. Okay. Okay, this is tense. Camping is intense. Oh my goodness. I don't have like Vapor Sag in my deck anymore. They played a land. I played a Delver. Okay. I have a Memory Lapse on my hand. What's gonna kill me here? No, they didn't. They just top deck a land. Fugitive Wizard. Oh man. That's crazy. That was wild. Damn, they have a duress. Close one. Close. That's so close. All right. What do we got? So everyone did join. I'll watch the cycling versus black white because I love this black white deck. I don't know if I could beat. Oh my god. That's a lot of stuff. That was a close match. I think your draws were just a little worse on the backswing of it. That was beating the gatekeeper. Oh yeah. I would have I don't know, you had a lot of mana there. I don't know what I would have done. I might have let the feed go through. I was just more worried about dying. So double headed you. I'm sorry, I can't really help with the get an ad blocker. Get an ad blocker. They exist out there. Oh, don't forget the report, Chase. And GG's also. If I didn't say that already. GG's and don't forget the report. I cannot beat this deck. I'm not gonna lie. These are the two decks I cannot beat. I don't think. I can beat the cycling deck, but this deck, those. Ugh. I don't know. I can just unsummon him to death, I guess. You do. You use an alternate player to use an ad blocker. Just look up like Twitch ad blocker on the Chrome extensions. I've used that and it works out pretty fine. All right. They've really. I don't. This is a weird game here. Like I feel like they're just a Zenith Flare away from dying at any point, but the Flyers can get in. This flies. This flies. They can they can come pretty strong here. Yeah, they could just cycle 5 times. Yes, that too. That's a very good point. Oh my god, what is in their hand? What is in their hand that you can't play or cycle? Yeah, you had to have like everything that was good against me though. You had like the edicts and the gatekeepers, so that's kind of tough. The Kira was kind of tough to get through. Oh, I love Kira though. It's been the tech all season. All right, so they just have basic lands in their hand, right? This is a him. It's gonna show the last land. It's a cycling card. Oh my god, they killed them right here. Why were they sandbagging this? All right, it's one. Did they really hit a basic land here? No way. They hit the flare. Oh, this deck. Why did they sandbag this for so long? They might have just drawn it, but oh, that's so brutal. To be fair, I think I'd rather play cycling than play this black white deck because there's so many unknown factors in this black white deck that I don't know about. The last match going on is Oops against the blue red alliance deck. Otterburn already beat the blue red the alliance deck, or I'm sorry, the Oops deck. My brain is going. My brain is failing me. Alright, not sure what game this is, but well, even if I had the Kira, you could have just like I mentioned this during the game, but like if I had the stuff to make a 12-12, but you had double Blood Chief Sir, so you could just like plow through the Kira shield. So that would have been kind of rough anyway. The Kira's best thing was just blocking that 2-2, the Gatekeeper that you played in turn 3 or something like that. Which, I mean, in hindsight, I love that play because you just put pressure on me, which I had nothing when I had nothing going on. So I did like that raw Gatekeeper feel. Lost Legacy. What are you gonna name here? You gotta name like Zenith Flare or Lightning Rift. I don't think Lightning Rift they really care about, but Zenith Flare is very annoying. It's the one card they probably can't deal with very easily. So being black white, if you don't have like specific cards like something that gives yourself hexproof a bunch, like or permanently, like Witchbane Orb or like Ivory Mask. This is a fine name. I think this is a great name. Let's see if they had any in their hand. Well, we wouldn't really know. I guess I can look. But yeah, I got named Flare here. I think it's the best. Okay. They didn't exile any of them. What? So none were exiled. So either Pigmax didn't exile them, or they cybered them all out. I don't know what to think there. That's wild if they cybered it out. Considering that it won them the game, like if they cybered them out just to dodge a lost legacy, that's like fifth level thinking. They're just on another planet of thought. Like the for them the X I don't know. I don't even know it's real anymore. Or they just like misclicked. They could have just misclicked, and who knows. I didn't see any X's in the chat, so it's funny if they think they can beat them just straight up. They might think they can just beat him straight up. I would kill the Blade Splicer here. Honestly, I would shoot the Blade Splicer over the Golem. It's tempting to hit the Golem here, but the Fox beats the Golem. So now if they have like a Resto Angel, you've let them to like blink this and get a little value. I think I actually would have killed the Blade Splicer. All right, Dread Fugue, no Cleave. So they took a Spark Spray. They have Crater, Triple Mountain. This is a terrible hand. They probably take the Fox. Wow. Okay. All right. So the Fox is going all the way. I mean, this would have killed the Blade Spicer anyway. You're never blocking, so you should probably attack. There's too many cards that interact well with Blade Spicer here. I think you just take the hit. I don't know. There's just Cloud Shift for white, and just for white, it's Cloud Shift. Wow, they can actually play the Football Crater here and make this thing trample, which is really funny. I think they're cycling, but if they're enchanting the land, yes, yes, yes. This is actually pretty great because the deck can bring up a bunch of like 0-4 walls, so if they get this Fox really big, this is gonna be great. Oh my god, they read the card. They read the card. That's text. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I don't know why. Their hand must be so terrible that they made this play, to be fair. Wow. So they drew this, and instead of just cycling this and getting going really wide, they decided to play this and not just accrue more value, which is interesting. And they found the touch. So I think you have to take the Fox now. Wow. I guess they just really think they can kill this. Okay, the wall. Alright, well, I'll buy a turn. They're really just not respecting this Fox whatsoever. It's great. Their hand is really bad, though. It's like really bad. Alright, then comes the Fox again. I think you just... They're taking this one. Alright, they played another Rescuer. And so their hand's just 2 lands. Sin Collector. You know what's in their hand. I actually don't really love this play, but it does like chump. I get like a chump. No, it can't really chump because you have a Footfall Crater. Alright. Shields are up here. But the Crater play's been really nice. Any cycling card just starts this chain reaction. Alright, they played one of the 2 lands they had. Resto Angel, okay. That could have blinked the Wall of Omens. Try to dig their way out of this. Alright, find another Dread Fugue. They have more mountains. Awesome. Sorry if you heard a weird sound. Trying to smack this bug. Sorry. Where are these ants coming from? No idea. Gross. They top decked the Rift. That's insane. The top deck Rift is really strong here. Now the combat doesn't matter. Like, they can just start cycling. Wow. Containment Construct? Really? That's a wild card to have for cycling. So basically, every time they cycle a card, they put it in exile, and they can play it. So they just, like, can massively flood the board with, like, whatever they feel like. That's actually wild. It's very, goofy. It's a goofy card. But yet they haven't drawn many cyclers this game. This is it's interesting. In this spot, it's not like the worst card. I guess the problem is that like a lot of your like cycling cards aren't super great. Like it's gonna be good here. Yeah, it's actually pretty insane right now. 3 mana is gonna like do a lot of things right now. It's about to shoot like the Sin Collector, I guess, or the face. It's actually 4 mana. 4 mana, 5 mana to do a lot. Like they get to rift something. They gotta rift the Sin Collector. That's fine. Now they can play the Valiant Rescuer this turn. They only have a single white source. That might be cause for concern. Oh my god. Football Craters. They gotta use it, right? They drew another rift. Please, and then have to play the rest. You have to play the Rescuer, right? Wow. This is a crazy board. This is actually pretty close. I mean, they're like 2 turns away from lethal. The last match is still going. The other match is still going on. Blue red against Oops. Yeah, he needs expertise. That's not good. That's not great. And they play another Lost Legacy. What do they name here? You have to name any cycling card, I guess. What could you name here at this point? It's not Zenith player. um, maybe like flourishing. I don't know. I don't even know what you name here. I don't think it's that great, but red pinging cycler. I mean, do you mean like spark spray or Iron Crag Pyromancer? I don't know. Did they play Pyromancer? Yeah, Pyromancer might be not bad to play. It depends on how many. So Pigmax knows their deck, so they know how many copies of whatever card they have, because they've already seen the Lost Legacy already. So they did name the Pyromancer. Oh, Draenus Stinger. Oh, that'd be not bad. That's a good name actually. They went with Pyromancer, which is kind of hard because they don't have any cards in their hand. So it's kind of hard to like start going. So Stinger would be a good name. But I think every card's getting cycled anyway. So I like naming a cycler because at this point every card is getting cycled because they have double rift and a flourishing fox that's like gigantic. So see, so this was happens. So now you like get the cycle. You get 2 rift triggers. In fact, they probably should have just cycled first so they don't block. They probably just could have killed their opponent if they did this a little better. But they're doing hard mode. Yeah, I would like Stinger as a name because any cycling card is probably good. I think one more cycle maybe kills them. Okay, that they're dead. They're just dead. I think. Yeah, they're dead. They point lightning rift to the face, or they just kill the Resto Angel. Resto Angel should be the best kill because now it tramples and it does the most damage if they kill. If they kill the Resto Angel, it's the most damage. That's hilarious. Football Crater. Why am I cheering for cycling? I don't want to play this deck. All right, cycling makes her way into the top 4, joining Teamer and myself. And this match is still going. This has to be game 3. No, it won the first one, actually. And they made the finals in the second one, where yours truly took them down. Cycling has done pretty well historically in the 500. Alright, so Teamer, Aggro Slide, Mono Blue Dreadnought, and the winner of this match are going into the top 4. No, it was great playing it. I'm just kidding. So I'll cut it up with all the matches I played personally, and then the top 8. So basically, yeah, it'll be like a 4-hour video. But I mean, it's gonna be cut down because I got I got 2 extra. I got 2 concessions. Like this is gonna be the most wackiest video. 2 people literally didn't show up for their matches. So yeah, the entire like run will be on top on the on the on the VOD, the YouTube. My brain's kind of shot right now. This is a weird spot. Honor Bounds. This is Honor Bounds. Where are we at? I don't know where we're at. Is this their main phase? Okay, this is their main. They're thinking. That's it again. Don't say that. Please don't anoint me yet. Just let me keep playing. There's some really tough matches coming up. I haven't uploaded this one yet. Oh, we're still here. Oh. You could probably rewatch this VOD right now. I didn't really say much. I was just very focused on not trying to die. Game 1, I just drew a turn 2, 13-13. I was like, I'll just do this and hope it works. Game 2, it's like, just very, I don't know, it's just top deck war. What about in the tank here? But they have 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. I have not looked at the time. Did they maybe get called away? Okay, they're moving. They've got to move. Oh, that part. Yeah. Some of those parts I'll probably edit out. Like all the in-between games, I'll definitely edit out. There's just a lot of weird banter. It's me trying to like stay awake. Yeah, I mean this is like plenty of time to try to kill them. They're at 9. Um Presumably they have a ton of like counter magic. So I don't know if they know their hand exactly, but this is a 2-turn clock as it stands, so they could definitely take their time. Cursed Totem, big card here. Cursed Totem basically stops Fate Stitchers, which is like the way they kind of well, you can unearth is fine, but you can't use the untap ability that the Oops decks normally play. They might have the Shatter effect though. They've played before, so they definitely know this is the card that's coming. In fact, most like Artifact Hate or Graveyard Hate is Artifact mode, so just having like a Braids is pretty nice. It does start with Azami. Autopsy it gives all humans not the ability to do that, so it definitely is a great card in this matchup. But I think if you're like a seasoned Oops player, you have to know that most of your things are going to be in artifact form. See, there it is. There's Ancient Grudge. And let's see if they have it. No, they don't have mana. They do have the Grudge, though. I mean, I guess if they could, like, Dark Ritual something out. You know what's really funny, too, by the way? Side note. So, before the tournament, I spent 6.5, 13, 20, 26 tickets on Mirage Dreadnoughts, and now I had to make top 4 to make it back. So now I've made it back. Well, you're just in time, Kaliok. Kaliok, we saw an arc trail in Mono Red. We thought about you. Hope you're doing well. Alright, they're going for the Dread Return on the Spy, which I think they might have a loose focus here. Or Forbid with buyback. Okay, and this is it. This is lethal. Scab Clan, just for the laughs. Alright. Honor Round makes it. Continue their impressive run here into the PD 500. This has been a really fun top 4 so far. 2 really quick matches. Or our match was not that bad. I mean, there's a lot of good matches. Well, all 2-0s, though. Actually, all matches have been... Well, this might have been a 2-1. Alright, well, I have to think it's Honor Bound. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Oh, because he's Duck of Oregon. Alright. Alright, playing against Honor Bound here, who's been on a great run with Blue Red Alliance. I've played this matchup before. I don't hate it, so I'm gonna keep this hand. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to cheese. I need a land too, though. Kind of a rough. This is kind of a rough one. I'm actually gonna mulligan. Alright, this hand is mildly better. The snag is really bad, though. I don't know. This is like a redraw. Let's see what happens. This is the best part of winning game one, is just doing this thing. So, just doing this is fine. This is not a great card in this matchup. The last thing I want to do is... Okay, I found the trick mine. So, I'm going to probe first. Okay. That's fine. They have an abrade. No! Oh, they have an abrade. This might take a while. Okay. We're both playing Lily Sandbar. It's pretty great. Okay. They're just holding a. They're just gonna hold a braid for the rest of the game, I bet. All right, Thought Scour themselves. They build an alliance. That's pretty good. All right, Ponder. They found an island. I need to see where this goes. All right, they chose not to shuffle. Um, yeah, let's get another probe. Wow, they have a lot of stuff. This is not good. This is why I wish I had main deck Kira's. This is the reason I want main deck Kira. This, matchups like this, where they're like prepared for me. Alright. But I mean, I could just sit here, I guess. I could just hang out. Okay, they're just cycling. Okay. Their hand's like just a bunch of counter magic and some other stuff. They're ponder again. I want to ponder. Where are my ponders? I'm gonna need a good old fairy vandal here. I think that's gonna be really good in this matchup. Or more islands. Islands are good. I'm at the point where I could like... No, I can't, because I just don't have enough stuff. Okay. Am I fighting over this? They could lose focus me. They could lose focus. I could pay. So they have to lose focus, tap out. I have a trick bind. And I try to protect my creature like a couple of times. They have like... I'm gonna, so I have to fight. Just this, the setup the setup this. The setup's something to do, but like I know it's not gonna lead to much. Because I definitely need... I don't have a Kira in my deck. So I don't have, like, permanent protection. Dang, Dislaw's in the top four. That's sick. Oh, they let it happen. That's great. That's great news. I think they're worried about Fairy Vandal, so... Oh, God. Well, that's a lot of Delvers. um... Man, I definitely want to shuffle this. It's just not good. Alright, well... At least this time I don't know what's gonna... I didn't... I knew it was gonna flip with that, but now I really don't know with this. I could pay for a lose focus here, which I probably would. If they try to make me tap out, I'll definitely do that. I think they're trying to lose focus me to tap me out. I'm kind of fine with that. But I mean, I don't have anything going on. If I find a slip, it's going to be not bad. The slip becomes a protection spell because I have Trick Bind in my hand, so they can't really stop the Dreadnought coming into play. But they do have a bunch of like lose focuses. Okay, they'll let me have it. I think they're gonna repeal it, which is fine. I could probably just like counter the repeal with the Vapor Snag, but I could just keep the Vapor Snag. How much do I care about a card? Hmm. I think I'll just give them a card. It's fine. Yeah. Really can't do anything about that. The game has gone way too long for me to have anything going on. Alright, well. I do have a bunch of Stern Dismissals in my deck. Maybe that's okay. I need another sort of like thing. Like a bunch of slips would be nice. Okay, they have 6 lands, so I can just activate this if they wanted to. Yes, I will reveal this. Alright, so they have a Drake, a bunch of counter spells. Okay. I get to tempo out this Drake, but it's gonna keep leaving back fairies. It's kind of annoying. They're gonna cruise. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, this is very annoying, but Top Scour themselves. Alright, we'll keep the tempo up. We'll try to. They're moving the discard. Double lose focus. Okay, they have a forbid, so I guess I could like attack first. I'm gonna cruise. I definitely have the mana to fight. Yep. Well, I'm trying to burn them. They have another lose focus here. They're just gonna plane forbid. Man, they have dispel here. It's gonna be really annoying. So I will just replicate for 1. Huh. Huh. Doesn't really do much. Okay. I think they're really just trying to resolve this crackling Drake, which would be really good. They're gonna cruise again. Yeah, sure. At any point, I could trick mine this trigger, but a braid my thing. Interesting. They have a loose focus. I think this is fine. I think this means just have more braids in their hand. This is kind of annoying. Just gonna let that happen. They could try to fight the Dreadnought. I would just play the second Dreadnought. I wouldn't mind if they tried to counter this. Because I have a second one that's not doing anything, so... I don't think I win this, by the way. They've cruised twice. I've only cruised once. This is not, like, great. They're thinking pretty hard. Should have got another Gatorade or some more water. Alright. I think we can try to counter this, which is awesome. Because I have another. I'm just gonna do it again. Alright. Like, if they have a removal spell, it's kind of whatever. I don't really have much else to do. They might be thinking they can counter the thing that enables it, but, I mean, I have a Trick Bind, so... I don't know. How many braids do they really have? Okay, they're gonna let it happen. Alright, I will Trick Bind. It's gonna be countered. I have some soft counters to help me out here. A braid. Okay. This is really sad, because I wish I had, like, Mizium Skin in my deck. This is the best Mizium Skin point. How many Ravings this? I kind of want to Ravings this. No, I mean, it's random. They could, like, discard a Crackling Drake, which I really don't want to face against right now. Okay. That was a good discard for them. Sure. Um, hmm. Sure. I guess it makes another thing. They already have the stuff. They just added stuff here. This is not lethal, but I feel like they're out of stuff. Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right. They have a loose focus. I get the Spell Pierce. The Spell Pierce is good now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna come in. All right, that one. I don't have no more Vapor Snags left, unfortunately. Um, I know what to do here. I feel like I want to give it Vigilance. I kind of want the Vigilance, but I want to. I might have some slips. We'll see. We'll just. I'll just go through this turn. God, if I had one more Vapor Snag. Give me one Vapor Snag, please. I only have two in my deck. I've used them already. The other one's in exile, right? Okay. Can they put up enough toughness here? I don't really know. If they flash back to Desperate Ravings, and play the Drake, they can play the Drake and, but or they just find a braid. Yeah, it's fine. Just slip a Snapcaster. Where's my mission briefing? Oh my god, if I had mission briefing in my deck. If I was a psycho that had mission briefing. Oh, they're so close. We're so close. Real talk, I had Piracy Charm in my deck. I wish I'd had it now. Where are we at? So the flashback Desperate Ravings here, I die, so I have to counter the Desperate Ravings. How many disallows is this? It's my other disallow. Okay. Well, they draw another cantrip. It's kind of over. Are they another cantrip? Okay. Nice. Alright. That was a close one. Not really. It didn't feel that close, but they churned through their entire deck for that. Almost got there. Almost got there. Somehow Vapor Snag was really good, but not good enough. Okay, so I'll just do my atypical plan here of like Spell Piercing, Kira, and Memory Lapsing. My hand was very awkward. That was such an awkward game. Um, it's funny because I actually kind of need Certus missiles in some fashion. Like I need a couple because Alliance is really strong against me, so I do need a couple. The focus should just be like making it a 13-13 and trying to protect it. It's just harder because I don't have like a ton of 1 mana interaction for it. So I guess I have to cut the probe or cut a probe maybe. Maybe like one probe, one disallow. I don't know. Cancel's kind of good in the late game. Cancel's like not bad. I could cut like a trick bind. I don't know what trick bind really does, other than like enable my dreadnought. I guess I could stop the card draw. Take out all cantrips, maybe. I think I could do something like this. I kind of like cancel. I kind of like having a cancel in my deck. Alright, let's go with this. It's a close one. That was really close. I mean, my hand, I went for like max speed, and they just had like main deck answers, which is like pretty fair at this point in the game. I kind of want to keep this, just because I have a Delver and a Spell Pierce and a Dream. But I'm gonna mulligan. Oh no, this is life. This is life telling me you were wrong. Okay, go to 5. I'm gonna keep. This hand's actually pretty decent. Yeah, I definitely will keep. I don't need 2 slips. I don't think. Um, I guess it's fine. All right, let's just not probe first. I could just play the Vandal maybe early. Okay. Need a blind flip. That'd be kind of nice. Show Ponder. Great. Okay, they found another Delver. No. Alright, don't Pyroclasm me. I don't know why you would Pyroclasm in your deck right now, but don't do it. I feel like I should have probed there. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. How are we gonna get out of this one? Okay. They chose to shuffle the first Ponder, so they're looking for something specific. They chose not to shuffle this one. Okay. Found a temple. Ponder still is pretty good. No. Okay. No. Watch this be the Ponder. It's an island. That's pretty good. Okay. They have an alliance, which is very annoying. And double a braid, Jesus. They're ready. They are ready. They are actually ready for me. Yeah, I don't think we could repeal for 0 here. Alright. Send in the clowns. I mean, I have a slip for a single or braid, so I'm not, like, sweating much. Okay, no. No. I'm going wide. We're going wide. We're going wide. They got a main phase repeal. So they lose focus this. Lose focus this. Lose focus to slip. Get a thing. I believe in the flip here. I'm believing this is the flip. I'm gonna get this Fairy Vandal countered. Or maybe abraded, either way. I believe. They might just let it go, because they're probably just afraid of everything right now. But this is how I try to... I'm gonna just snap focus this. Good, good. No. No, I still don't want to pay for it. Okay, so now this is the flip. This is the flip. See? Alright. I'm gonna play the Delver here. I have a slip, so I could protect a little more. I don't know if they have another loose focus. I'm not gonna play like they have it. I'm gonna play as if they have two abrades and only run red source. I have two red sources now. These are the worst Fairy Vandals I've ever seen, too. It's really funny. Okay. This might flip, too. It might. Hey, it flipped. Look at that. My hand's getting really good here. Alright. I will... Yeah, I'll slip this. I'll slip this one. I think it's totally fine to do that. Although, if they play a Drake at any point, it's going to be really bad. Because it's going to make, like, two things. That's the worst part about the Drake. It makes two things. Which is not really great for me. Okay. Yeah. They know I have Spell Pierce, so this is pretty reasonable to do here. Okay. I have a Lapse. Lapse is good. I have Certus Missile. Certus Missile is good. This is lethal. I don't have to do anything to my board right now. I mean, I guess I could, like, draw a discard. Or I could take, like, a Cruise. Cruise is pretty good. But I have a Lapse in my hand, so... Sure. I have a Dismissal in my hand, so... I have a Spell Pierce, too, now. Go 2-0! Let's go. Come on. Maybe I don't attack. I have two counter spells up. Alright, let's go. That was a mold of 5. That was a mold of 5. I had to win that. Okay, okay, okay. Finally, the Delvers flipped. Cycling is in the finals. They beat the Teamer deck. Alright. The 2 of Dismissal somehow came through. It kind of came through in the end. Do I change anything? I don't think so. I flipped a bunch of Delvers, and they were kind of like... Their mana was, like, very confined in weird ways. So I think I'm okay with this. Cycling is in the finals. Ugh. Go Honor Bound. I don't think Honor Bound can beat Cycling. Did they? Have they beat Cycling yet, this tournament? I don't know if they can beat Cycling. What would you rather have? Slick Knot. It's actually technically Flash Knot. And what's the I don't even know what the record is with me and Fairy Vandal in my deck, but it's pretty high. It's pretty high at this point. Alright, just a good hand. Just a good hand. Some threats, some spells, some stuff. Just some stuff would be great. This is some stuff. This is some stuff. It's not the greatest stuff, but it's some stuff. I'm on the draw. On the draws is not great. Turn 2 Alliance is kind of annoying to just slam it. I'm gonna mulligan. Some better stuff. This is better stuff. I'm gonna keep. I'm not even gonna play the turn 1 Delver. I'm gonna probe first and then I'll decide. I'll keep. Alright. I guess go away. They also mulliganed. Alright. They have a turn 2 Alliance, but no blue source. Well, rock and roll. This is a rock and roll hand for sure. Look at this hand. This one rocks and rolls. Slam the Abrade. No? Let me untap? Ooh, let me untap. Let me untap. Let me untap. Okay. They heard me. They heard. Would it have flipped? Would it have flipped, though? Come on. Would it have flipped? Yeah, it would have. Absolutely would have. Alright, let's probe again. Okay, their hand is not great. I cleared an island. That's so good. I cleared an island off the top. Sure. Ooh, they found the blue source. I could slam this Kira. Unless they have chain a burst lightning or something. No. Alright, but I'm gonna slam Kira here. Go, Fugitive Wizard! But they get the Alliance, so maybe this is not the greatest trade-off. I don't know. But if they draw another land, then I couldn't have pierced it anyway. I think I could race. If I flip, if this flips. No. Sure. Sad sure. How they ponder here? Um, not the shuffle. Okay. Can I draw a cantrip? Like a single cantrip. That'd be nice. I'll take a Lonely Sandbar. That'd be nice, too. Yeah, that's a cantrip. Yeah. 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 um, I want this ponder up coming up, so I don't like this land drop too. Fun game. They could play a Drake. Drake would be really annoying right now. If I get that on tap, I can play the this is fine. I have the Fairy Vandal now. I'm probably not going to send in the Kira anymore. The Fair Vandal can just kind of come in. I might actually trade the Delver off at this point. Let's see what the Ponder brings. Ooh. Yeah, I'll trade off this two for this. I don't really mind. I don't think. I don't think I mind. The Kira is very important for stopping this braid. But if I could trade two, like, I think I'm fine with trading this. That means 3 gets through. Okay, that's not bad. What did discard? The repeal. Interesting. This Kira is very important to my game plan. I need the thing to stay alive as long as possible. Um, it's not great, but now I could at least like if they try to Desperate Ravings again, I could like stop it here. Okay. What do they have in their hand? Oh, I knew they had the Thought Scour. Um, sure. I kind of want to Spell Pierce this. No, because I'm gonna cycle. Yeah, I cycle draw 3. Sure. This is kind of the Abyss, but like I have 2 Abysses soon. Okay. I could grind through this. I just need some time. I need to find a trick. Oh, I have a Disallow coming up, right? Yeah, I could Disallow the Dreadnought. Right? Yeah, this is the next card is Disallow. Hmm. I don't want to trade 2 for 1 again. Maybe I hold this Cruise. No, the Cruise will find a probe or something, right? This is the best time to do this. I think. Yeah, I need card advantage. I would like card advantage, please. Okay, they're gonna try to fight. I'm gonna Spell Pierce this, I think. I cannot let you have 5 things for now. Oh, I found the Trick Bind. That's perfect. Maybe I do trade all this. No, because they have 2 Ravings down in their graveyard. They can make a lot of things. If they draw a land. Alright, let's just come in with this. My god, this setup is insane. Okay. A very complicated. I need to draw a land so I can have a Disallow up as well. Because two of these creatures aren't going to matter. Sure. Alright. They're trying to flood the board, but if I could resolve this Dreadnought, it's going to be pretty good. And I found the one Trick Find in my deck. I need to... I need to have this island. Thank you. Forbid. Yeah, I have to disallow this. The last card's a Braid. Alright, Trick Bind this. Alright, I'm gonna attack. Because they can't draw any extra cards, so. Oh, hold. Hold. Alright, that makes a bunch of things. It doesn't matter. I have a million things. I wish I could have had the disallow for the well, I could stop only one trigger, but I mean I would have countered the ravings, but I guess I could like double do something. They can have a braid and a repeal, or repeal a braid. Oh my god, they have something. They found something. Come on. Ugh. They must grind through this. Okay. Okay. Should I just like, yeah, I have to trade these down. I really do. If they try to like wipe the board here, they still can't kill this one. I think I do have to trade down, which is really sad. I think. I don't know. I think this is wrong. Maybe this is wrong. I mean, they have like 4 free creatures coming up. Not free, but I can't stop it. So I don't know. God, if I had this is okay. Okay, this is really bad. Okay, if they draw a land here, this is really good. This is, I had for the longest time before this turn, I had Pyrite Charm in my deck. Imagine getting Island Walk right now. I need to draw another. Wait, how many disallows do I have left? I have one disallow, and I don't have the other trick line, so I need to draw a single disallow for this. Okay. They might deck themselves, maybe. I don't know. Or I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. This is really bad. They have so many alliances in play. Crackling Drake is pretty good. It's pretty good. The walls are closing in. They found the double abrade thing. I need to find the single disallow in my deck because I definitely forgot about. Not I didn't forget, but Trick Mine was, I don't know. We're not getting that far. This game's almost over. Uh, let's see. Yep. Oh, it's over. I think it's over. There's like too many fairy tokens. It's just too much. Stern dismissal. Why did they stern dismissal? Oh, I think they forgot. I mean, like I'm trading this. I'm definitely trading. I think I have to trade this. No, hold on. I'm not dead. Block, block. I think they just forgot that I had Akira in play. I mean, it's not great. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a great look here. They can have another unsummon, I guess. Another cruise. Okay, it's a little aggressive. Hmm. I have to get out of this one. Where am I at 11? I have a Delver. Where did it go wrong? Oh man, they just drew a second card. They drew a second thing to kill the Dreadnought. That's where it went wrong. I didn't have I had nothing for it. Oh, it's kind of brutal. These spell piercers look so bad now, but I had to stand by them. Let's see. The Ravings? Yeah, maybe. Did I have a chance? I don't know. I don't remember if I had the chance. I'll have to look back one day. Um, I'm just trying to think if I want to attack. Oh, I had a double pierce. Yeah, maybe. If you mean double pierce, then yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to think of what I want to attack. It's like, what are the lines that I can win this? I attack, they block. I chump the Kira to the Drake. I flip the Delver, but they have to like make a really bad attack. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll just make it. This is an equally bad attack, but I have to maybe I don't know. They're never gonna not. They're gonna keep Death Ravings up for the rest of the game. I'll just chump the Kira to the Crackling Drake. They can't have that much more removal, right? All right. Hooray! I get to spell pierce something. Okay. Part one. Get that one out of here. Get out of here. Uh huh. Ah, this is so brutal. I just didn't have like I don't know. Maybe I was just like not prepared for a matchup like this. They're just gonna yeah. I think if I had like other like non-targeted like protection spells like Mizium Sin and stuff like that, this would have been like way better. Okay, they but this is kind of brutal. I have nothing for this. I don't know. I would need a combination of cards that aren't in my deck for this, and they have another Drake. Double Piracy Charm would have Double Piracy Charm would have been so good. I would never have Piracy Charm in this. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this does here. Uh, yeah, that's game. I can't. Let me think. Ah, yeah. Thanks for playing. But oh, that was brutal. They drew the second spell off that second abrade. That was like really the difference maker in this match, and they kind of got to take over. Ah, brutal, brutal loss. But the dream, the dream ends right here. But Honor dream still goes on. That was a close one. That was a tight one. I think I don't know. So the fact that I traded the Kira for the Alliance early was interesting, but I know they just have more, but I think I always drop that Kira like right there. I think I always like play that Kira on turn 3 in the face of it because it really like shaped a lot of the game. I don't think I bored. I think I have to keep the Trick Mine in the deck though if I bring in all the Kiras like that. That was kind of rough. That was close. That was close though. But GG's. Can't win them all. But now we're gonna watch the finals. Crazy Brother, are you here? We could talk about this real quick if you want. Yeah, just go into the mod chat in Discord. Just come here. It's just way easier. I'm here right now.
What's up?
What's up? Sorry I couldn't win it all after crushing you, but
So,
let me turn on my music. Let me turn this all down.
yeah, I gotta mute the stream on my end too.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go into. Oh, I guess I don't have Moto open, so if they made the match, I guess I can't view it.
No, not yet. I get I'll just share my screen.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Yeah.
It's opening up Moto.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Did you made top 16, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. What did you why did you decide to use mono red?
I don't really have a strong reason. I was just clicking through my decks, and I thought it looked fine. I just picked it like 30 minutes before. the only deck I actually won a tournament with this season was mono white, but I don't think it was. I don't think the mono white is like good against in an open field. Like I think it's pretty good against Storm and Dreadnought, but I think in like an open field mono white's not that good. I think mono red's like better in like just against random stuff.
I don't know. I mean, like if you had the field of like, I thought the field was like basically gonna be like the Dreadnought deck, White Weenie, Red deck, and like some smattering of like Oops and Blue White Control. I think the
Yeah,
mono white deck would have been fine.
yeah, maybe. And I did lose to Oops and Dreadnought, which I think are which and like they were. It wasn't close. Like I got crushed in both cases. And like every other match, I was like I won, but it was like a fight, you know. So it's like the deck felt like good, but it felt like the matches I lost, I got crushed, and the ones I won were like hard work to win. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't very. Maybe it wasn't actually a good deck.
All right, let me share my screen. Let's see if this works. Can I share my screen? I don't even know how this works. Okay, here we go.
That's okay. I mean, I can just watch the stream. I'll just be delayed a little bit.
Nah, we have the technology. We have the technology. Uh,
Let me see if I got into Moto on time. Oh yeah, I can actually watch it. Never mind. I can see it.
okay.
I was able to. I was able to.
Oh, you're looking at it right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm watching.
Okay,
Let's see. Let's
cool.
see.
Let's see. So Honor Bound's on the play here. Aggro Slide was like one of those like fringe decks. I was like, this could just make a run, or you know what I mean. But this is proof.
For sure. Yeah, it was pretty popular in the tournament. I mean, in the field, there was a lot. Um, and not it was not popular in the weeks leading up, but there was like there weren't that many big tournaments. Like a lot of the tournaments leading up to the 500 were just like had very low turnout, so that makes it extra hard to predict. You know?
Exactly. And it's like if you looked at like the results, it was mostly like aggro decks that were good, and what's good against aggro decks, a bunch of lightning rifts, and it's like it's perfect, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's actually a tough matchup for Honor Bound too. It's like if they're, I'm looking at their deck right
yeah.
now. If their like deck is like focused towards like their deck is focused towards beating like Dreadnought. They have four main deck of braids and stuff like that. Oh my
Oh, they
god, they
just
just
concede.
conceded. This
Wow.
hurts. I mean, Alliance is really hard to beat. I
Maybe.
I don't I don't know if they are gonna beat it or they're just tired. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe they're just bored. It's like I made
Yeah.
it to the final. I'm done.
Oh my
Because I have
god. This this cycling deck has sideboarded in lightning rifts. This is they have lightning rifts
the.
in their sideboard. They're just
Oh,
like
I mean, in that case, conceding makes a little more sense because you don't. Because like I was thinking, like if you if you just draw a lightning rift, you can easily beat the alliance, you know. But if you don't have it, then yeah, it's going to be quite a bit harder. Um,
yeah.
I
Because like
mean,
all they're all oh go ahead.
all that aside, you know, sideboarding the best card in the deck is probably not correct. But if you do choose to do that, it's it
So,
makes some.
so I guess a lot of like people like or cycling enthusiasts have like gone lesser with like the Fall Crater Gopher Blood kind of like just like cards that have cycling one for like main deck shredded sales, which Love Taps does have, but cutting like Rift is like kind of nuts, especially in the field that we just described, the
Yeah.
presumable field. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Rift is like, I mean, Rift is also just really good against like control decks. Once it if it resolves, which it will on the play most times.
all right, so second here gonna be in the play. Very, this might be the quickest finals we have here in the 500.
I mean, that still seemed like a pretty early concession. Like even you could still draw like a bunch of Zenith flares and kill them.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know. I was gonna go through like Honor Bound's list too. It's like kind of sweet. It's got like fire spouts, and I don't know why they have fire spout if they can't actually play the green half. But
I think they might have didn't. I think Underground
no,
used to have the teamer tap land like the.
yeah, but they're playing like Swiftwater Cliffs instead, which makes no sense if you have fire spout.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, it's just
I don't
so. I
know.
guess it's just so it doesn't kill your own fairies. Maybe there's no effect like that.
That's
You know,
true. Yeah,
maybe there's no like earthquake effect in
I mean, they could play actual
mono
Earthquake.
red.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, they could do
They could
that.
have played actual Earthquake. But yeah, they're just like, and this is reminds me of like the um blue white decks that Watch Wonder was playing with like just tons of cantrips like Ponder, Thought Scour, Cruise, Ravings, just to kind of like churn through the deck and figure out what you wanted to do essentially.
Yeah. Okay, this fox is now out of raid range. It can still get flame slashed, but it's going to be out of that pretty quick too, which is a
Give
real
me a second.
problem. Well, I guess they have repeal though. Like this could just get repealed here.
I'm not in the finals. Sorry, someone came in, but yeah, the I mean they have a single turn dismissal in their deck too, which I don't know if they. I think they would have kept it in. They probably bring in others. There it is. So
Yeah.
that's brutal. Man, their sideboard's so good. Honor bounds is. They have like in the static caster for like rescuers. I guess a null you could just literally just counter riffs. I don't know. This is gonna be a weird toss up, but no red mana here for love taps. What did you
Yeah.
lose to other than me? What was the other deck you lost to? Oh, you lost to
Oops.
Oops, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. You got
Yeah. It
Dark
was not.
Ritual.
Yeah, I lost on turn two on the in game two. I mean, like you could argue like I'm supposed to mulligan more aggressively for graveyard hate, but I only have 3 lanterns, so I didn't really bother.
Right. Oh, they did bring in a null. Oh my goodness. I mean,
I mean, I think I got a little unlucky against you, especially in game one, because like I felt like, I mean, I was on the play, but felt like I could have won if I drew
oh
a
wow,
third
so
land.
many counter spells. Yeah, I mean, I mulliganed and I probed into the other piece of the Dreadnought combo. So I, I I
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, my tournament run's been so stupid. It's been like so dumb how far I've gotten.
Are we gonna scoop to Improbable Alliance again? That's the question.
Yeah. No, I mean
I
this
mean,
time they have rifts in their deck. They can't just scoop to this. It's the finals. I mean they've both made a pretty chunk of change. Honorbound could be the
if
second player. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I'm just thinking, I'm just doing Rift. I mean Zenith Flare math, because if they is I mean if they have like double Zenith Flare for example, like yeah, so then now double Flare is lethal, but they don't have a red untapped, of course. So um,
Hope they didn't bore out their flares. I don't know. I don't like playing the healer here. I don't know if it does anything. I guess it
yeah,
pressures. Like, you could like pressure the fairy tokens, but they would trade 2 fairy tokens for this.
I mean it does help you in the race a little bit. Like it validates like one or more fairies per turn, which is nothing. Okay, well, tapping out here is interesting. So now, what do you Zenith Flare if you have it? Do you Zenith Flare the Drake? It's
I go
kind of
dome.
close.
No, you go dome because like it basically buys you a turn from the Drake because it's right now it's for 7,
Yeah,
so you just buy a
that's
turn, and
that's
then
true.
maybe you could like orange if they have orange chant in their side where they could like kind of board it in orange chant. Oh, they cycled to sales. Actually, would have just they shot
No,
it. I'm sorry,
they
they
killed
shot
the
it. Okay, I just look at every cycling card. Oh, they cycled it. No, they used it.
Okay, well, it seems like they don't have Zenith Flare because I think you just fire it upstairs at this point if you have it
Absolutely.
while they're tapped out.
Yeah, because I mean, they're not attacking anymore. There's double alliance in play. Hunterbound's gonna draw too. Hunterbound could be the second person also to like win the kickoff and the PD 500. So that's like a pretty rare feat
With the same deck, no
with the
less,
exact same deck. Yeah.
which is funny. I do feel like this season it's been really long, but I feel like it, the the it felt pretty solved early. Like nothing really shocked me that emerged, you know. So I mean that's like kind of a little bit sad, but it's kind of how it turned out because it's such a long season. Like sometimes some like new deck comes out and you're like, oh wow, I never saw this before. But this season that didn't really seem to happen. I mean, because
Yeah,
look at what we're looking at in the final right now, you know. But
it is kind of funny. I mean, like we're not this blue red deck is just basically built. It's almost built to beat Dreadnought in a way. It's like it definitely has it like the focus in mind, and on the other side, the cycling deck is just good. I don't know.
yeah,
Like they didn't. I don't think they played like
all
maybe
right.
one Dreadnought player, but this is
So
lethal. This is pretty lethal, right? Eight,
yeah, if I
nine.
think they see the cycle one card, I think. Oh no, no, I guess they don't.
Oh, they boarded this in. This was not in their main deck.
Yeah, I kind of hate this card in cycling. I think it's
I think it's awful.
kind of. Yeah, I think it's
It's
kind
not
of
good
trash.
in this matchup. It's not great,
Yeah.
but okay. If they make okay, let's see. They have 6 fairies,
Slice and
13.
dice. That would be a good one.
If they okay, if they make 2 cantrips here or just 2 spells, the game's over. Unless they have a flare. Could they just hold the last card could be flare.
Wasn't Honorbound tapped out though? Oh, because he didn't. Oh no, yeah, but wouldn't you just win if you had flare?
That's
It wasn't
true.
Honorbound. Wow. Yeah.
Winning is good. You're right.
Yeah, someone in Wapla chat says slice and dice would be yeah,
No
slice
one
and
played.
dice would be
I wish people play. I thought about playing it in the that goofy like blue red unbreakable cyclone or whatever, unpredictable cyclone, whatever. I wanted to play that there, but it's not good enough. Sadly, that best cycle is like decree, I guess, decree of justice.
all
All right,
right. We
any
have
spell kills.
14 damage on board.
This is a fire spout. Fire spout to kill nothing for crackling drake to swing in for lethal. Do they have the? Do they have?
What could they have here? Maybe they have a shredded sales, but you would still just like anything you have, you would main phase when they were tapped out.
Okay,
Okay.
this is a redraw. This is why sec. Oh,
I mean, that
hey,
was
there you
pretty
go. That was pretty.
anticlimactic.
That was crazy. That was crazily boring. But hey, congrats, Honor Bound. Hey.
Congrats, Honor Bound.
Dang, that's nuts. I can't. Yeah, it's just like the game. That game one concede, which is like so crazy. Like just so
Yeah,
like I don't know defeatist, I guess. But
yeah.
that was a match. That was definitely a match we watched for sure. But no, shout out to the top 8. I mean, that's a crazy run from Love Tap. Just like a I wouldn't even say good cycling list. It's not great, but they made it all the way to the finals and they made like 90 tickets. So like that's a win on its own.
Yeah, for sure.
all, all free prizes. So let's see. Do you want to look at the list? Do you have time?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
okay.
Let's
All
make
right.
some content. Some stuff.
Content. Okay, let's make sure they report first.
That way we can look at them in order.
Once I'll PM the Love Tabs person.
I think they did report. I think Honorbound did
Yeah,
report.
a lot of times it's like one of the few people that aren't on Discord, which is not like a big deal, but they always like report quickly.
Yeah.
I just but like I don't know. I think there are like a few people in like certain countries that just like can't access Discord for whatever reason. All right, so this is the winner here. So I have the Drake deck. Oh, they did board perfect.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that this deck is like Honorbound's kind of, pet project. And so it's not a deck like other people will play it and they'll like change like Honorbound is a very deliberate in like how he builds decks. And so when other people will like play it, they won't know how to approach matchups or they won't know like how it works because it's like it is like an interactive deck, so the skill ceiling is a little higher. And so it's kind of weird because like the only time you ever see this deck putting up results is when Honorbound's playing it because it's like his deck. I do like the one Gitaxian probe. That's pretty funny. Um, like how you come to that conclusion. I mean, it makes some sense in a control deck to play to not max out on them because you don't have a way to gain life, and it's it can be. It's not like you're like turboing. You know, it's not like you're playing like a prowess deck or something. So I think maybe it's fine. But anyway, yeah. So I think this deck is pretty cool and interesting and good. And it's the threat suite is pretty unique to PD. Also, it has like extremely powerful draw suite, and then the threats are Crackling Drake and Improbable Alliance, which is a pretty good strong combination. But it's like something that really only it's like only I've only ever seen it in PD. I didn't even see that in standard ever. Like I think these cards were in standard briefly at the same time, but didn't really see any play together. And yeah, it's pretty pretty interesting.
I mean, I think Crackling Jake definitely saw play. I can remember,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. I'm saying like
like
Alliance
to
saw play and Crackling Draco saw play, but I'm saying like individual, like together as like the kill the win conditions in a control deck, like that's not a thing that ever happened in any other format.
yeah, that's true. This is more of like a Drake was more like a tempo card and Alliance. I don't know. This deck is like again, it's like that weird like subsect of like control decks that like just play a pile of cantrips and just try to draw what they need through like just card advantage and because like
Yeah,
all these cards are just like draw cards: Ponder, Thought Scour, Cruise, Ravings, Probe.
yeah,
It's just a ton of just like filter, filter, filter. It's like hard to even
yeah,
call it a control deck. There's like a few
yeah.
removal spells, but it's
I
like
and then he's also got the cycling lands. I think you
yeah,
need that. You need that to make Alliance good though. I would say, like I think that's makes sense. Like you're trying to maximize improbable alliance, and I think that's what you
right.
got to do to do it.
I think definitely the Abrades probably just like won
That's
them
just
so many games. Like
yeah. That's just a Dreadnought concession. Let's look at their matchups. They played against the like you know what's funny tangentially. So their first matchup was like what's it called Quest for the Holy Relic,
yeah,
and that was actually what I played in the first round. Not that person, but a different person playing the same deck. And it's funny because I main decked a bunch of um, also art not a braid, but like the
raise the effigy.
raise the effigy, yeah. And it's funny because my first two matchups were like two white artifact based decks, like the quest and then a tempered steel deck, and the main deck raises were really good. But I actually main decked them because of dreadnought, obviously. But yeah, I think and it's a similar logic with the braid here, right? But it's funny that my point is that the main deck artifact removal was actually really good, even when I didn't face Dreadnought, because there were a ton of white artifact decks in the field, like Tempered Steel and the Quest for the Holy Relic, and then other random. I faced even the mono black deck that I faced. I did end up cutting them post board, but they had like
Flash
some
right.
artifact.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had some like artifact creatures and stuff. Like yeah, it's interesting. So it's kind of like a braid is very well positioned card, I think, in PD. So playing for that right now, so playing for them definitely makes a lot of sense.
yeah, for sure. They mostly played against like what was this um quests, elves, the Cascade deck that made top four. Oops, also or made top eight. Dreadnought 2-1. A loss to the Orzhov midrange deck, which I'm really excited about. Beat the Oops deck again, beat me, and then beat Cycling in the most anticlimactic game. But yeah, this is they were ready for things like Scab Clan, I guess Storm or combo. Rebuilds for all
Yeah,
those like like the same artifact decks you were talking about and all same
yeah.
thing. And it's like just a pile of just like
I
one
like
ofs that
it's also like nice that you can like in a deck like this where you have so much velocity, you can just play two fire spouts and if you can buy enough time against like an elves deck, you'll just see it and win. So that's what happened to me in the kickoff. Actually, I played elves in the kickoff and I died to Underbound fire spouting me.
yeah, this is a fun deck. Actually, I'm happy they won because I don't know, it's just unique. It was unique. You didn't
Yeah,
really see it often. It's like it kind of came out of nowhere and won. And like I don't think anyone else. Like you're right. I don't think anyone else could play it to the level that they played it. So congrats to Honorbound for sure. All right,
yeah.
second place. Let's I can just click this. This is cycling.
The most radical cycling list you've seen in years, where
It's
they
it,
sideboarded Lightning
sideboarded
Grid.
Lightning Rift is insane. I said congrats to them, and they immediately just left the conversation. So they're probably just like conked out from like 8 hours of 7 hours of play. But
Yeah,
the deck is always good. I mean, it's never gonna get bad. Ikoria just ruined the format or something, and
right,
like just
right,
shoved
right.
all these like cheap cycling cards in, and then what
Yeah,
like standard doesn't have is they don't
cycling
have Lightning Rift. So
cycling for one colorless is broken. That's what PD has taught us.
yeah, pretty much. It's like I guess the same thing that goes with the Drake deck from earlier is that like you just
Yeah,
keep drawing cards so you figure it out. Just figure it out eventually. But
yeah, yeah. It's true. This is a Boros uh Turbo Xerox deck, right? Which is not something that happens in Boros, but it is true. Like Flourishing Fox does a very strong Delver of Secrets impression sometimes, where you play it on one and then you just cycle every turn, and sometimes you play a Spark Spray or a Go for Blood or a Shredded Sails, and then you threaten them by holding up Zenith Flare. They can never tap out, and if they do, they die. So this does have some like weird tempo aspects to it sometimes. I mean, it obviously just has a ton of angles, which we've learned over many seasons that it's so hard to like try to interact with this deck because you have to your answers have to always line up with whatever plan they happen to be on, be it Lightning Rift, Flourishing Fox, Valiant Rescuer, or um, Zenith Flare, and all those require like Zenith Flare, you have to interact with their graveyard or the stack. Lightning Rift, you have to be able to interact with the enchantment or play some hexproof thing. Valiant Rescuer just goes wide. Flourishing Fox goes tall. So it's really annoying to try to interact with this. The weakness of this deck is usually like linear combo decks, and we see that I did take one loss to Oops in the Swiss, which is um, to be expected. I think. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
they
you can
have no
see
like
yours.
artifact. They have no graveyard hate, so it's like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could jam a bunch of graveyard hate and improve that matchup, especially because you will see your cyber cards quite frequently when you cycle a bunch. But it is always tough if you're unfavored in game one to try to draw your sideboard cards in both games 2 and 3. So yeah, I think that's true. I think decks that also do something tangentially unfair, like the Dreadnought deck, can be good if it has the Dreadnought draw, but the four shredded sails really hedge against that. So
yeah, I don't really like the Dreadnought player. I don't really care too much about Shredded Sails, just another spell you counter, but I was actually just
yeah,
more worried about Rift, which is like I was so scared to try to get paired against the top four. But having him separated out Rift was like, wow, really? Now my Delvers can just live? It's like awesome. Like because this
yeah,
card's like way scarier like in that matchup than like something like Shredded Sails, which is good. It's still good, but it's like, well, this is like easily counterable. It's like it's easier to deal with than Rift. Because like Rift again, you need like specific answers, like you said before, where it's
yeah,
like it's just its own card where it has its own sub game. It's a silly deck and it's like really good. Again, I'm surprised they haven't sideboarded because like Gopher Blood craters are not like cards that you use a lot. Well, we did see
right.
craters used in that top eight. That was really funny against the black red mid range deck or black white mid range deck. They make like a big fox trample, but
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not normally something you would do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, shout out to cycling again. Another honestly on the fringe deck like the blue red deck. So speaking of a lot of on the fringe decks in this top four or top eight. Honestly, this is like
Yeah.
this
Again,
is
I think
rug. Yeah,
yeah, I think that the metagame was really undefined because there were so many because the regular tournaments were so low turnout that it was really hard to kind of. That's actually part of the reason why I just played red mono red because I was like I have no idea what people are even going to bring like so yeah and yeah this is a deck I hate
I
uh,
I know this is gonna be like this is like the people that didn't win. It's lamenting. It's just like no, this is awful, and then we're just chewing. We're just like chewing bubblegum.
we're just
Yeah,
not
this is
yeah
awful. And then just like
yeah
winning, and we're just in the back. But
yeah
why do you hate this deck?
because it plays a bunch of value creatures and then it blows them all up with joggle hops. So it doesn't like the game plan doesn't really make sense to me. Um, it seems like I would rather like if you have one Garrick, like why won't you just play more Garricks instead of these Goblin Dark Dwellers? And why wouldn't you just play like I don't know, like anything that's like I feel like something like Apocryphite would be a better creature to play than like Bloodbraid Elf or Shardless Agent. It just doesn't make any sense. I know it's cool to like cascade into your See the Truth or whatever. Like that's cool and all, but I will say having the Juggle Hops plan does give you some game against cycling, although they did end up losing to cycling in the top four. So um, yeah, I don't know. I think this deck's weird, and I think it needs doesn't really have a clear identity to me. Like it doesn't have a clear game plan. It's just like people like value creatures and then blowing everything up with Juggle Hops. I guess pretty much it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like
Wait,
back
they
in
even
season.
have they even have inevitable betrayal in their deck. Oh my
It
god.
does remind me back in like season 22 where we were playing like all these like this is I think when Bridges first came out or whatever they were starting playing these like oh Wildfire is good with Bridge, but then they started playing these like goofy like Joke Op decks with like their win conditions were literally just creatures like Dream
Yeah.
Trawler or like Tectonic Giant. I'm like this is awful. You're right, you just kill your own thing. So like and that's why like the better decks going down that line were like the Ensoul decks with like Ensoul
Yeah.
Artifact, Step in
And
Denial,
Soul is
Rise and
fine.
Shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Soul is totally fine to play in this deck. it's a little awkward because I feel like Ensoul will kill them before you ever resolve your Juggle Hops. Like it's like you're kind of going down the land, so it's like it feels like there's maybe like a pretty good Ensoul aggro deck, and and you could like yeah, you maybe don't want to be as all in on Juggle Hops, but I mean just like randomly playing two and jamming two and Soul into this deck just like is not consistent. Like sometimes you'll randomly have an Soul plan, like sometimes like yeah, like all these plans are like individually powerful, but it's just like you don't have enough consistency, I think. And also you have they're playing three ponder, which is pretty funny.
I don't know.
Also,
But I mean, like
no
those,
ghost quarter in the meta base is
yeah,
pretty weird as
this is
well.
they had an interesting run. Like they beat Cycling, they beat a Dreadnought deck, and they lost to the eventual winner. Then they beat Tempered
Yeah,
Steel, lost to a Dreadnought deck, and then beat two red decks, which is like, and then
yeah,
lost to Cycling. That's a really like, I mean, for all these decks that like we were saying that were good, like Dreadnought, they split Dreadnought matches, they split Cycling matches, they beat red deck, which is like I think it's a really good thing.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, someone was gonna sneak in on breakers, so that's what they did. But
were they eighth? Oh, they were eighth,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wait, good run. Well, good run from them. But
Yep.
yeah, you're right. I mean, like this deck could just like make I don't know, just make use of better planeswalkers or just some planeswalkers in general. Just something that doesn't die, just straight die to your Jogo Hops. But maybe just value kills. You know, value does kill.
Yeah,
Like
but at
some
that point, that just don't play the Juggalops. Just play being a value plan.
that too.
Although I think
Yeah,
Tom played a deck list like that in the league once and did pretty well with it. I tried a Jugglehops team or Jugglehops with like Planeswalkers. It was fine. I don't know, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about that deck.
yeah. All right. Next is yours truly. Another top eight for 500 with Dreadnought. I couldn't take it down this time. If you're watching the video, the VOD, there'll be like the deck in the beginning, but I'll just go through my general thoughts. Definitely was a deck to beat. I definitely tried to make this deck good in the mirror and just fighting against everything else. That's why I have like all these unsummons. I have like eight unsummons in my deck because I really wanted to beat White Weenie. I thought that was
Oh
one of
wow,
the worst.
you lost round two.
Yeah, I
I didn't
did.
even know that.
I
I didn't
lost
even know
round
that.
two.
The
Um,
classic. I guess the one you won, you lost round one because you didn't have a buy. So
yeah. So like, yeah, in round two, I lost to like, and I said this earlier. I said this in my deck too. It's like if everyone plays a him deck against me, I'm just gonna lose to it. And I think I like barely lost, but no, they played
yeah,
like I remember they played like a turn one Nighthawk off a Dark Ritual, and I just couldn't kill it because in that matchup, I don't I bored out all my like unsummons because
yeah.
it's not like a greatest idea, and like it would have been kind of it wouldn't have changed the game. It was just like they just kind of like
It
took
is.
control really early.
It is. I just laughing because it's so fun. Because like turn one Dark Ritual Vampire Nighthawk is like so bad.
But it
and
was
like
so
a
I mean
lot.
like if I
Yeah.
had
No. No. It's.
unsummons, but like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
um
know. It's
I don't
like.
know. I was really high on like trick bind. Disallow is just something I threw in there that because I didn't like Ripple at all. For whatever reason, I was like, I don't really like Ripple, and I just wanted like another counter spell that also was a trick bind that also did something. So Disallow was like kind of where I ended up. I didn't really test it at all, and I just kind of bumbled my way into this. I wish I had
Sometimes you
Kira
just
main deck.
gotta.
Yeah, I kind of wish I
Sometimes
had.
you just gotta cancel people. Is what I'm saying.
I really just had like a split of Kira, but I really wanted like to win game ones against some aggro decks because I really thought like just having and also Vapor Sags or just unsummons in general are really good in the mirror because the more you have, the easier it is. Just kind of like Wipe Away is great, but it's 3 mana. It's like you really just want 1 mana answers
Yeah.
to
I
things.
on the topic of wipe away, I played a blue white control deck, and I was like, oh, I think like if I'm playing blue white control, I really like Rune Halo. But then I realized that like since all the Dreadnought decks started playing like wipe aways, it's really bad plan to try to like lock them out with Rune Halo because wipe
Oh
away
yeah,
can't be countered. So like protecting the Rune Halo is like a very House of Cards kind of thing because like as soon as they would draw like it never actually happened, but I had like so many spots where I was like I lost with to a Dreadnought deck twice, and there were so many spots where I was like, oh, if they just have wipe away for my Rune Halo, I'm just dead. So like you end up having to like use multiple Rune Halos on Dreadnought, and then you can like die to like Fairy Vandal or whatever.
yeah.
So
That's what was,
I found that like the Rune Halo plan like it seemed really good at first, but then once the wipe away started showing up, I'm like, oh wow, this actually is not a good plan, and that kind of
yeah.
really soured me on trying to play blue-white control.
Especially since I've moved to Stern Dismissal, which I'm like very adamant on because of
Yeah,
basically the wipe away plan. There are other good
yeah,
cards like Touch of Spirit Realm, uh, what a Detention Sphere, just any
yeah,
random enchantment was really good. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with most most everything. I, I don't think I really I like the Spell Pierce main deck. That was like a last minute. I literally in the very last minute had all Sweaters sideboarded and I had Piracy Charm my main deck for random reasons. I thought like killing small things would be really good, or like Island Walk would be really good and against some matchups.
yeah.
Just like randomly having Island Walk would have been really good in like the mirrors stuff like that, where like it's just all about board presence. So, but I was happy with Spell Pierce. I think Spell Pierce is good overall. I wish I had Museum Skin, but that's like only for that random last matchup. Because if it's Kira, it's really good with Kira. You could just overload Museum Skin. You don't have to target. Um, Threads was just random. I didn't want 3 wipeaways, so I just played a Threads for the mirror and like also White Weenie or whatever. But I
Yeah.
thought that was gonna be sick. I guess I don't know.
Do we lose the sorcery that does this? The Entrancing Melody?
The
I
difference
think
is the difference is that this can take a 2 drop for 3 mana versus like 4 mana. I
right.
didn't want to out 4 mana. If I was gonna play 4 mana, I was just playing Control Magic.
True.
But that's my only reasoning behind that. If I'm gonna go that far, then I'm just gonna play Control Magic, which I almost did too. This could have been Control Magic, which would have been kind of cool. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, my I don't know. In terms of my like actual run, which you'll see, I literally went like loss, like no show, no show, and then just kind of ran through everyone. Like this green match, the post match was really close. I'm sorry, our match and like the Soldier Ally, that was not close. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
was
No,
closer.
I got the start.
Yeah, this was closer than it looked. The mono blacklist, and this match was really close. I thought it could win either way, but with honor bound. But yeah, no, yeah, it's a good run. I had fun. I'm glad I made it this far. I really couldn't like say anything else. I'm not sad that I lost, but yeah, I want to know. I
I,
guess. All right, this is top 8. This is Jace's mono black devotion list.
no
And man,
buy. Good.
this is a
Getting there
list.
the hard way. Getting
This
there
is
the
a
hard way.
list. This I love this. It's just like every pet card that you want to be good. Actually, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I do like Timer. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, I think you said something about Tide Taker, where it's like, you just forget what text it has, and all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
wait, this actually does things against like oops and stuff, and
Yeah.
like,
I like Timer too. It's like a scavenging ooze kind of thing. It's like pretty good.
yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know if any of these cards made solid light of play. Like, this is kind of cool. Varagoth, that's cool. I like Chupacabra though. Chupacabra is kind of neat,
Yeah.
but like. Josu's kind of hard to do, but they are playing Cabal Stronghold, so eventually you'll kick this Josu. Eventually.
Yeah. That was a bit ambitious. I mean, it's fine. I actually think like Grey Merchant is more ambitious than Josu because
They're
like
not a lot of black pips in this.
yeah.
I mean, like Gatekeeper, Corlash is cool. I like Corlash. This is just a lot of like cards I like, which is fine. Like sometimes when you like play cards you like, you just feel better about the deck. I was like, well, I like this card. Like
Yeah.
I like Hythonia the Cruel. This is fine. But this is fine. It's not a fine card. I don't think it's like terrible, but you gotta get to this point. But oh, wow, they had
Yeah.
sideboarded in Mutilates, Edicts. They played no Dark Rituals, which I actually love. I actually love the lack of Dark Ritual. It's just
Yeah, I like that as well. I think it's like Dark Ritual is like really high variance, and if you're trying to do Cabal Stronghold stuff, then it's like what do you like? How would you put Dark Ritual in this deck? You'd have to cut spells basically, right? So then you end
right.
up with like 27 mana sources, and like you can't really cut lands, and you yeah, it's really awkward in these like mid range decks to try to play Dark Ritual. Um, and like the more aggro decks where you have a bunch of 1 drops where you can go like turn 1 Dark Ritual, triple 1 drop. I like it. I like it fine there. I think that's a fine plan. But like in this mid range type of decks, I think it's a bit like if you go to like Dark Ritual to put out your 4 drop on turn 2 or something, and then they just kill it, like you 2 for 1 yourself. Like it's yeah, it's not the best. So yeah,
Yeah, but shout out to
I think
Jace.
it's
I
fine.
mean, they they had a hell of a run. This is a great run for them.
Yeah,
Again, another person that didn't really play a lot this season, like with Honor Bound too. They kind of just like showed up a little sometimes. Not. I think there's a lot of this top eight. It's like a lot of people that like kind of show up every now and then, but it's like these are all kind of like mostly regular people, which is kind
Yeah,
of nice. Or
it is nice.
regular, but like irregular all at once. Like I think like Pig. This is the next deck. Pigmax is another like
I like
regular,
this
but
deck.
like not the. I love this deck. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, this is like pretty similar to my mono white deck. They're just playing black, right? Like
Right.
they added him and Kaya basically,
Did
and
you
like a
did you
spin the
play with
green.
Resto or you played with
I
Resto too,
did.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Mine had. I mean, I can show you what the list was.
Right. But like no, I love this list because I just love value. I love Blade Spicer Resto. I'm glad someone got to do that. um yeah, this is just like pure mid range, like, value with inspiring overseer is like pretty sweet. I don't know, it's like I guess because they're
I would.
more this is hard. Like, the mana is kind of hard, but with like Cave to Kolios and like a bunch of like dual lands. I wonder if like Rager would have been better. It does fly, so it's like not bad, but it's kind of a non-bow with Angel.
I kind of would want to play like Thraben Inspector instead, maybe, because you have it's a one drop and you can blink it with Resto, but
Yeah.
Thraben Inspector costs mana, so
Yeah,
it's
it's kind of
powerful.
tough with like all the tap lands.
Yeah,
The mana is a little rough, but I think it's okay. Like I'm actually
yeah,
surprised I'm playing two Vindicates and like more touch. Touch is pretty good against like Dreadnought. Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. They need to exactly have the stifle effect. Otherwise it's uncounterable.
But yeah, I mean, like I'm just happy to see Blade Slicer in the top eight. I think it's really cool. I really love this card. So, and I love Resto, and I love all these cards. Cathar Commando is pretty sweet. I'm actually surprised like not a lot of white weenies made it to the top, but I guess looking at this like kind of top eight, you can kind of see why everyone just kind of
Yeah,
like have these like I mean they're playing
yeah.
like
What
Wrath of
we need.
God.
I mean, no one played Storm, which is like I don't know. I was thinking about playing Storm, but then I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna get Orims chanted and whatever.
Yeah, I think everyone was like ready for it.
Yeah.
Like look, they
I
have
mean,
like
it might still be fine to play it. Like you might still run well. Like it's still a really powerful deck, but yeah, it's just like yeah, there's so many canonists and chants. It's really annoying.
yeah. It's funny you mentioned how like earlier you mentioned there wasn't really like a defined meta, but like I think in this season in particular, people were definitely like while there wasn't a defined meta, people were definitely ready for like certain decks. Like people have like Dreadnought in mind, but they also had a lot of Storm in mind because that's why you saw all these like Orm's chants. Like this deck has like
Yeah,
Canonist, Campbell, like what is Camp like Honor Bound had
I
like
actually think
four Scab claims in their sideboard. So
I actually think it's kind of funny. Um, so I guess the deck we're about to talk about, I think Oops
yeah,
benefited a lot from people like not really caring about it.
yeah. This deck
Um,
was like one of my top five. Like I had an unmade video where I wanted to talk about the top five decks to look out for, and this was one of them. I never
yeah,
got to do it because I got really busy, but definitely Oops was like super strong. Like
yeah,
like it always shows up early, and then like I don't know, it needs people to like play it, so
yeah.
for it to matter. But Rooster
It's
Coco definitely did well.
it's just like it's a subjective, but it's in my opinion, it's not a very fun deck to play or play against. It's very boring. The play patterns are very prescribed. I mean, the games where you like fight through hate are fun, but generally, like it's like you either easily win or they, easily beat you. So it's less like
Yeah,
doesn't have the most interesting. So that's that is what
it's
it is. But
it's definitely the most glass cannon of decks.
yeah,
Like I mean that's why Dreadnought is also like the same kind of thing, but you have other things to do. Like your plan A is always to
Dreadnought has
make
a
that 13. Like you have different plans to do different things,
yeah.
but this deck definitely it's like
The
what's your
only
plan
other
B?
plan
Well,
is
I
like
will make a
cast.
Black Boom Rogue.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Here we go.
casting really bad creatures is your plan B. Yeah,
Like and some other like versions like Black Green have like other better cards to use. Like they have like the Mammoth or whatever. But Black
yeah.
Red is like really rough on like the plan B.
What's
Like
interesting is they drew so much interaction in game one against me. Like they like cathartic pyred one of my creatures and they spike field hazarded another. Like they like played a real game of Magic and like I just felt like I didn't have a chance because like just like every turn they interacted with me and then they also just combo killed me after like four turns, which is like all right. Like and so that's interesting because it's if you look at how this is built, they have no discard spells in the main deck. I think.
they have a Dread
I
Feud.
guess yeah. I guess is there Dread? Okay, there's two copies of Dreadfuge, and then there's the Pelaka, two copies of Pelaka Predation, but that's 3 mana. So it's really like I guess they decided that they wanted to like be able to beat the board more than they wanted to be able to beat counter spells, which is interesting. An interesting decision, right? Like so, there's more yeah, like Spikefield Hazard, Hagra Mauling, uh, made a Cathartic Pyre. Erebos' intervention is in the main. I guess it's for the mirror, maybe. I don't know why that's in the main deck, but yeah. So it seems like they really were like, yeah, I want to be able to kill creatures. So maybe they were like, I don't want to skip to a dry. I feel like I'm going to see more Dryad militants than I'm going to see counter spells, which is really interesting. I mean, I don't know if that's what they thought, but that's what I'm kind of thinking they must have, the logic they must have gone through to arrive at these conclusions. Like, why would you play two Cathartic Pyre, two Dreadfuge instead of just four Dreadfuge? You know. So that's interesting.
I guess if you thought that like White Weenie was gonna be really good, and
Yeah,
people have been picking up like Dried Militants, and yeah, I think it's a
yeah,
good actually had a
yeah.
heads
That's
up.
that's what I think. Yeah, that must have been the thought, and I mean it paid off for them on the most part. I mean they made it to top eight, so um, they beat my red deck pretty easily, which they would have done probably no matter what they put in their deck.
Yeah,
But
that's a tough
yeah,
matchup for you too. And speaking of red
yeah,
deck, that's the last deck of the top eight Die Shufflers with Mono Red Burn. Not the same kind of red deck you were playing. This is more of like the prowess sort of like Flame
yeah.
Breather, Firebrand Archer style deck.
Love
I think it's
some.
the only red deck is probably like reasonable to play broken because some people just play
Yeah,
this and think they can like shave on lands. That doesn't do that. No, it doesn't. That's not how it works. But if you're playing with 8 cards that care about non-creature spells, then I think it's fine.
yeah. I think it's fine.
I
Lava
love
Burg
that.
too.
I love the fact that the Kamado Face's Kakazan actually triggers both of these spells too. The Flame Breather Archer, because it's a
Wow,
non-creature spell to start.
that's
So that's a
crazy. Yeah.
really it's a really fun interaction. They're playing like literal Seal of Fire. This is like, is this
World
better?
Shock.
Is this worse than like? I mean, I guess it's like an instant speed spell, but it's worse than like Forked Bolt or like I don't know,
Yeah,
literal shock. I don't know. Is literal shock better?
maybe. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I guess with all your um, pingers, you don't really like you're gonna main phase it a lot of the time anyway, so it's probably fine. It's probably better
Yeah,
than shock.
I love the Flame Kill. That's a cool card too.
Yeah, I'm a
And
big
it's
fan
cool
of
to have
that
Seal
too.
of Fires just laying around. They're kind of
Yeah,
like you play them early and then you just like dump your hand, don't hit anything, then Flame Kill, hope to get to the third saga, and then just like pop them.
I do like that these really aggressive red decks tend to have better. They tend to be worse against like control decks, but they tend to be better against like cycling because they're more linear. So like you have a, like because if you're playing like my style red deck where you have like you go a little bigger and you have like experimental frenzy and things, you're playing like you're basically and you I had like Earthshaker Kenras. So I'm playing more like a grindy game, and I grind out a lot of like other aggro decks and interactive decks, but this deck is like a lot faster. And so in a deck that also has a good late game, like cycling, I think this deck is much better because yeah, you just kill them much quicker, and you don't have like you don't care like if they're dirtling around with Lightning Rift, like killing your creatures, that's fine because your creatures have already dealt some damage, and then you can finish them with lots of burn upstairs. Like this deck probably kills on turn 4 much more consistently than my deck would. Um,
I love the
yeah,
single
so it's
Epicure. I don't know what that's about, but
yeah, that's a weird one.
I love seeing one ofs in decks where like there shouldn't be one ofs. Like Shard Volley, I think it's fine. You only want like
Yeah,
probably exactly one or two. But like
yeah.
this random Epicure, like it does something plus something else. I don't know. Oh
Yeah,
god,
that
they
was a
played
one.
Mog Salvage. People were starting to pick this up. I was like, oh my god.
I would play the. I forgot about Mock Salvage. I should have had that in my deck. Maybe I like the.
I like
Isn't
Raise.
there like a?
I like Raise
There's a
Effigy a lot.
1 mana 2/2 legendary. What's his name?
What, Zurgo?
Zergo. Yeah, I feel like they should add a Zergo instead of this Voldaren Epicure, but I don't know if Zergo's legal. Maybe it's not legal.
I don't know either. Oh, let's find out. Let's probably tell us.
I probably should have had one too if it was legal. Maybe this is not legal and I forgot.
It is
It was
legal.
legal.
It
Yeah, I probably should have
is.
had one.
All right, let's quickly go through this top 16. MTG Lou, I think, was playing. They're playing Dreadnought. They're also a big. They played a lot of decks. I thought they were gonna play Oops, but Dreadnought was where they came up with. Yeah, this list is more normal because they're playing like Ripples and I think I was the only one really that loved Trick Mine too much. But because I interacted so well with Kira, so that's why I was really high on Trick Mine. But
Yeah, for sure.
this deck is more normal. Like some people play Thought Scour. I think it's these are all just fine cards. 19 lands kind of a lot for me, but a lot of them are cycling cards, so I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Watch Wonder list. I think this is like a Watch Wonder sort of list because they're playing like little one of like Jace. Find the Monster. I'm not like a huge fan of, but I guess it's kind of good early draw, but it kind of like hurts you. I don't know. Fading Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of like the same cards.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems fine.
Yeah. This deck is and the fun thing to think about is that this deck, oh, let's slip out the back, is like horribly overpriced somehow. This deck is going to be around for a bit. What kind of cards are around it? I'm not really sure, but Slip Dreadnought is like not probably not going away.
Yeah,
So
I agree. It's gonna be probably the player next season as well.
yeah, how much is it right now? It's one. It's yeah, it's like one tick, like 1 cent right now. So get used to it, which is fine.
Maybe
I'm probably glad it probably didn't win because then people have been what the heck. Who
maybe we'll
knows?
get dressed down one of these days. I doubt it, but you
One
never know.
day. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this name, but I've been saying mini thigh high or tie high or something like that. I played against this deck. They're playing. This is so wacky. This is PD now. Now we're in PD territory. They're playing soldier ally, soldier allies, humans, changelings. This is amazing. I think like the idea is that champion to perish and had a free blade are your best one drops, and you just want to maximize those. So like,
Yeah.
if you, everything is a human or a changeling, and then everything is like, or the, except for this Kipkin, but this Preeminent Captain can bring in like a changeling, which pumps like the champion or search party captains. This is silly. Dar War Chief's here randomly, all because
I
all
like
your early stuff is like soldiers.
I
So
like the enlistment officer. I think that's a nice card.
I think this is sweet. It's basically like the soldier version of Goblin Ringleader.
Yeah.
It
It's
pretty much
cool.
hits every card. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do like. I think the best reason to play allies is free blade master. This is just a ton of power really quickly. But then they just went a bit further. And they started 4-0. I mean, they lost to two different Dreadnought decks.
Right.
So it looks like they beat a lot of like different like white weenie style decks, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
They beat a bunch of aggro mirrors, which kind of makes sense because their deck goes a little bit like it's like an aggro deck, but it curves out a little higher, so it's going a little bit bigger, and a lot of their stuff has first strike. So it kind of makes sense
Yeah,
that in like board stalls they would come out on top
I
on
think
average.
I've said this before, but like Blade Master is like an old school card that has like new school text on it in the sense that like it just has
Yeah.
a pile of keywords and it does just random things.
Yeah.
Like they don't. This was I don't know. First strike vigilance on like a 2/2 for two is like really big. That grows with all your creatures. That's like really big. And you're right. The first strike thing is really good with like field marshal, which everything is a soldier. So field marshal kind of helps out here. Oh, they had comments on it. This deck uses soldier synergy and pairs with an ally package to make champion, Hada, and Blade Master too big to overwhelm your opponent. Perfect. I like that. That's a good summary. A perfect summary. Then Cathar Commando's sideboarded. That's kind of goofy, but I guess you really do need the ally sort of
Yeah, I think they
goodness.
just were maybe a little bit lost in the sauce on the synergies, but I mean you can't hate on it, you know. It's
No,
cool.
I think it's, I mean they did well. Top 16. That's
Yeah.
what can you do? All right, Plurt's another. All right,
Another
okay. This
good
is the
card.
third not player in the top 16, but let's see. They're pretty much the same. They had a single trick bind. Opt is interesting. Just a more cantripy. But it's good when you had Fairy Vandal. Fairy Vandal, like, Baker was right. It was like, Fairy Vandal was the truth. It's just so good in the mirror, and it won me games, too.
Yeah, it's just really hard to tap out for Tempest Jin, I think, because in the mirrors, it is like I think. I mean, you destroyed me anyway. I think against red decks, it is better to play the Tempest Jin, but in general, like you don't really need it. So
I had a very, like, backwards thought of sideboarding engines for, like, Because I really was really worried about like aggro decks, but I was like, no, I'll just play a bunch of unsummons and hope for the best.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, Vandal's just super good at just like, oh, I want to lose focus, but I also want to like pressure my opponent.
right,
So
right.
my like Vandals never got higher than like I guess in the except in the Autoron match, like normally they never get higher than like a 3-4, but that's like good enough in a lot of boards. They'll play Dawn of
Yeah,
this world sideboard. That's kind of cool. It's very narrow, but it's also very cool.
yeah. You get to blow people out.
Yeah, I mean, in a world with like very few free spells, this is pretty good. But it's specifically a certain card. I actually would have actually liked to have something like this, at least something that like does like protection for free. But it's
I
very
mean,
specific.
I feel like this is like Kira. Like it's like something you could play. You know, like I feel like you can't you don't want like too many of this kind of effect. So like if you're playing Kira, you probably don't play this, but
Yeah,
you play you can play it instead of Kira.
that's true. It does flip Delver too, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's so it's multiple synergies. Okay, who's next? You. It's you. It's
I'm
Crazy
next.
Bailout. You were playing
Um,
Red Deck. The
yeah,
30
I
minute
like
30-minute Red Deck decision.
yeah. Um, I just it's basically pretty well. I don't want to say it's stock because most of the red decks are pretty different from this. I just like playing. Basically, I try to play the highest card quality. So I played Figure of Destiny and Stormcroak Noble because I think they're just the most powerful one drops. They're not the fastest, but they have the most like upside, you know. And uh and then Kenra I think is the best. Again, it's the most powerful two drop. It's not necessarily like the fastest, but it has the biggest impact. I think Pyromancer is slightly underpowered, but I played it because I think Kumano is really because I want enough creatures to make Kumano good, and I think Kumano is really powerful as well if you curve out with it. So I wanted to have like more two drops to play. So I figured Viashino maybe is the next best one to play here. You could play the first strike, the red first striker, but I do have Mishra's Factory in my mana base, and then um, the only like I guess the weird spell is Raise the Effigy, which is just a concession to Dreadnought, which didn't work out. But like I said, if you look at my first two matchups, I played against a Quest deck and a Tempered Steel deck where the raises were really good, and even against like the Black Aggro deck I played, they had some artifact creatures, and yeah, and if they weren't actually even against Oops, they had like the talismans and the treasure tokens. So even against Oops, I found a target for it.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, worst case, it just like pumps your creatures.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think the rest of the spells are pretty standard. I played two Experimental Frenzy, which was really good in matches where it showed up. You know, if the game goes long, you just kill people. You just grind people into the dust with that card. Um, I drew like 5 extra cards against
So you
some
like
opponents.
Kumano over Figured, or you like Figured Destiny over Kumano is what you're trying to say, right? Because um, I guess Blue
Uh,
Watchwonder is saying like, why do you have only as a 3F? They think it's way better than you're saying. What's the reason why only three?
I think it's a worse top deck though. Like, I don't know that's the best card. Like, it's good on turn one because you curve out with it. You go turn one Kamado, turn two two drop, turn. But if you draw it on like turn four, it's like not as strong. It's a little lower impact. Um, it's still fine, but yeah. I mean, maybe there should be four, but um, it is true. Like maybe it's correct to play three figure and four Kumano because figure is also like lower impact in multiples because you don't have that much mana laying around. Because like figure is like a mana sink, so you kind of if you draw like a bunch of them, it's like you can't. It's like a lot of investment to try to pump all of them up. So I could see cutting a figure for the fourth Kumano. I don't know. I didn't really think about that deeply, but I don't think it's like necessarily clear to me that Kumano is the best one drop because it is good exactly on turn one compared to Figure, which is like Figure if you play it on like turn four or whatever, you can still use it. The mana sink, you can sink the mana immediately. Um, so it's like much more impactful top deck in the late game.
Yeah, I think I see your point of when you're saying you wanted to grind more between like figures and like Earthshakers with Eternal Eyes, and you have these sideboard like Grim Lavamancers, Shrines,
Yeah, yeah. I
Chandra.
boarded in the Lavamancers a lot because I played against a lot of aggro decks and they destroyed people.
Yeah, I love
Um,
Lavamancer. There were a lot of like, yeah, like white weenies, tempered steely type
Yeah,
things.
my last I changed the like I had them in the main deck and I cut them to the sideboard like right like before the tournament started. but I ended up sideboarding in almost every round, except like I didn't board them in against Oops or Trick Knot, but the other 4 rounds I boarded them in. So maybe they should have just been in the main deck. But yeah, they were really strong.
All right. Well, 13th place. Another cycling deck. This is Greshia. This is actually Shadowwater's brother. Um, they're sane, so they're playing main deck riffs. They're also playing main deck. They're playing Battlefield Forge, which is I think missing from the top two lists. But I think we both like agree that Pyromancer's not great. It's just not a card that cycles, so it's like if it's not doesn't cycle, it's not named Rift or Flare. I don't know what it's doing, so it's a terrible top deck. And like I don't know. I think
Yeah,
all your cards should just say cycling on it or something
I
like
tend
that.
to agree. I also don't like that like if you play this card on turn 3 or whatever, and then they just have a like most of your deck is like kind of awkward to interact with. Like yeah, like you can kill the 1-drop Flourishing Fox, but you're never trading up on mana. And this Pyromancer, it's like you're giving them a pretty juicy target for a Doomblade or whatever, which you can kind of avoid doing. So that's another reason I don't really love it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And but the thing is that like with these kinds of decks is that like I said, they're just like Xerox decks. So even you can play some like suboptimal cards, still just kind of get there with
Yeah, for
like
sure.
off the back of like Lightning Rift, Zenith Flare, Fox, or whatever. Um, no, again, there's another one of those like ever since 16,
I like
15,
the
16 or whatever. It was gonna stay
I like the
around.
one. I think the one Astral Drift in the sideboard is pretty spicy. I guess it's pretty similar to Touch the Spirit Realm. You're probably boarding that in against the Dreadnought deck to cycle it and kill the Dreadnought, which they can't counter. They have to like trick bind it.
Or have a Kira.
Yeah. Oh, I have
Yeah.
Akira. Yeah,
Oh no, actually, Kira's really bad in this matchup. It's kind of
it
good and kind of
is.
bad, but like you could just Lightning Rift target it and not pay it, and it's
And
so
not
annoying.
pay. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
that's
dumb.
true.
But Kira's like fine when you're
I think
ahead.
this deck is a little like I think the sideboard on this one is a little more thought out than the other one. Like I like the choices a little more what they did.
Yeah, they definitely had like a plan for like
Yeah.
they had for small creatures. They had Pyroclasm Slice, which I don't even think you need, but it's helpful. They had to Purify the Grave, which I love. Hide Seek. They had a lot of stuff for like Dreadnought. I don't think they played any. They actually didn't play any
Yeah.
at
I don't
all.
know what I don't know what the logic of playing the slag storms and the pyroclasms is. Like what creature deck hurt them. But
I
that's
mean,
the only thing I
none
would
of them
question.
really. I mean, they beat the one. They
Right.
lost them on
That's
a
what I'm
red.
saying.
It's like they beat. I mean, they beat the elf deck too. So
Right.
the ones they needed to win, they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind. Like, I really did think like White Weenie would be really strong. So like having the overboard, I think is okay. Okay, Okay, there's a lot of cycling here. This is another cycling deck. So this is like the third or fourth cycling deck. Hold on. Let's see, Love Taps played it. No, this is the third cycling deck. So it's three cycling decks so far, and also three Dreadnought decks, which are like almost gonna be like evergreen decks from here on out.
Yeah.
So,
This is called Swift Workite. So this is a Swift Workite list.
but they're not
This looks
playing
like the
Tectonic Reformation. Yeah, this looks more stock
sure.
though.
Yeah, this looks like the what I would consider a stock list.
Yeah, there's not much to really say. They lost in the mid range deck. They lost to two people to make top eight to beat everyone else.
Pretty
Um,
solid.
yeah, I mean, again, like pretty. It's a lot of like isolate, hide and seek. It's a lot of dreadnought hate. Well, hide and seek's really good against just like artifact lands in general. And there are a lot of people playing like tempered steel, whatnot. Yeah, that's a quick one. But Harry Froglegs also used to be PD 500 champion as well. So
That's right. Yeah, they're
yeah, so
I think like season 19 or something like that. 2020 maybe.
yeah, they played mono red. I remember.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was probably one of those seasons.
But the last two decks are pretty decent here, or pretty interesting. Moshet with mono black aggro. Um,
Yeah,
is
their deck's
this
cool. I like it.
cool? Vampire's Kiss. I actually love this card. It just does. This is a new, such a new school card to me because it just does a million things. Like, oh, drain two, gain two, and then make two things. It's like what?
I think they should lower their curve a little bit. I don't like how many 3-drops. Like I don't want to. I don't really love 4 Hippie and 4 Nixithid. I get that like I think those are the cards I would look to replace here. I get that like you have dark. Like I would rather just play more 1 drops and try to like dark ritual into triple 1 drop than play those cards. Um, that said, I mean obviously like I can't. I mean I don't know. Like maybe it's fine, but that's just my. Especially like hypnotic specter is a little bit weak in a deck like this, I think, and I think Nixithid, if you're not in on discard, is also potentially a little bit
Well, I mean,
sus
they
in
have
general.
hymns, and they even have like Wrench Mind, which is like
Yeah, that's true. Maybe
a
I
worse
mean
hymn. It's
maybe
like
they're fine, but yeah, that's just my
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Just looking at this, like I would try to just be more aggressive and play more 1 drops and 2 drops and play those 3 mana creatures.
yeah. I would say it's like if you were like it's sort of like a weird hybrid between like the fake rack decks and like a mono black aggro strategy. They just kind of like took I won't say the best from both likes. I think I ran the Vampire's Kiss, but like this might be just one of those like cards I like sort of lists where it's like, well, I like Vampire's Kiss and I like discard, but I also like attacking my opponent with Diregraph Pool. I like Scrounger a lot. I do love Scrounger in these kinds of lists. It's a very grindy card. Shade I'm like
Yeah,
less high on, but late game seems fine.
yeah, I
Um,
like the. I'm a pretty big fan of the recursive threats. I think they're good.
yeah,
I mean, they're really good against me. Like, because my game plan was to like try to burn him, and then like those cards just kept coming back. So that's another reason I would want more 1 drops that naturally kind of die to things, so that I can exile them to Scrappy Scrounger later.
yeah. Actually, I like having Blackmoon Robe in the list because like it's either like a creature or it's a creature for one of the Scrappy Strands or whatever, or just like a land that she might need. It's actually kind of like that as an idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Because like
think that's
it's the
pretty
same vein of
reasonable.
like red deck playing Hazard. Hazard's I mean obviously way better than Blackmoon Rogue, but it's like
Yeah,
the
I
same
do
kind of
wonder
thought.
if you would rather have Hagra Mauling or Black Room Rogue or some split of the two, but I don't know the answer. I'm just
Well, I guess the fact that they are playing like a ton of discard and the rogue actually
yeah,
has text about like your opponent's graveyard,
yeah.
so that's
It's probably
probably
fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's okay. I don't know how this deck beats Dreadnought. I mean, it would beat it by just hemming a bunch, but like
yeah, yeah. It
Carlos
has
X
four
pretty
thirst, four
yeah.
ham,
Okay, all
four
right.
fugue.
Last but not least, this is Goblins. I believe it's Goblins from GDF. I can find the list. Umori Goblin
Umori.
combo. Oh my goodness.
So they're free rolling Umori because they have all creatures,
Can I?
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of. Oh, so they're just like yeah, Goblin Persist with like with Grum Gully, Murderous Redcap, and you have a bunch of matrons. This is legacy like in I mean you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
without lackeys, they just have like a matron sort of package.
One thing that you I do like so I think that if you have like Goblin Bombardment, which you can't play Umori if you do that, and also it's not a hit off Ringleader, so it's not necessarily an auto include, but like Goblin Bombardment is very powerful with in this type of strategy as well. It's worth considering, I think.
I'm actually
Um,
surprised they're not playing like. Can't you play Tarfire with the Numori? This is a they share a type, right? Or wait, no, wait, because they
no,
have to be instant. They can't be an instant, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh. This is kind of cool. I like Crater Maker. I wish they had more Crater Makers. Crater Maker is actually pretty sick.
Oh yeah, Creator
Um,
Maker owns Dreadnought. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's actually way too good. Uh, Grenzo is kind of fun. I actually wish I just max out Red Cap Grum Gully, even though like I know you can't like um I mean they can just tutor them up, but it's like they're just really good cards. This mana base is interesting. So they don't because they have to support like Grum Gully and like these random black cards. They're playing like Renzo, whatever. But they have those like weird lands. Like Courtyard's probably the best card because it's like all creatures. Oh, they have to support Umori too, which is not even which is black and red. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is a tricky mana base. I think it's fine. I wonder if this would
I generally,
I wonder if, like
I generally,
Canyon Slaw would be better than Ruins.
yeah, I generally like to be. I would probably just cut green and not. I get the Grumgully is like the combo, but yeah, maybe you need the green one.
I like Rumgully. I like maybe you could
Maybe you cut
maybe
the
have it like a
black.
one of like a one or two of because like
Actually, wait. The only black cards are the Grenzos. Like maybe you just
Grenzo. Nothing. Yeah,
in the
just
main
Grenzo
deck.
and Amori. And yep, and Amori. They have Earwig Squad too, which I actually kind of like too. There's a lot of cards I
Yeah.
like,
Well,
but
no,
like,
but Omori, you can cast with green mana.
oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, if it was just like red green, that wouldn't be too bad,
Yeah, I mean you'd lose the Earwig squads in the sideboard, but maybe you
right?
can play some other anti-combo thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
it's not
that
like,
maybe it's easier
and you
on
could
the
play.
mana.
Well, I guess you couldn't play like, I don't know. There's not. It's hard. Actually, goblins don't really have a good like combo strategy because like you're right. You do have to like sideboard and all this stuff. Like lantern is really specific. You have to bring this in. So then you're probably boarding in the Umori, right? When you bring in the lantern, because then you can't have it as a companion.
Yeah, well, I mean you don't have to bring it in, but you can't use it as a like you could just leave it
Oh,
there.
I don't know. I try to like push companions out of my like brain stem. That like I don't even know how it works anymore. They just appear all of a sudden.
Yeah, I like goblins. I think it's cool and probably underexplored and underplayed. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And this is just a completely different type of goblins list, which is really cool. Like most goblins lists just
Yeah,
kind of like attack a bunch, but this feels
yeah,
like it has a lot of different plans, which I actually kind of like. They have a Bushwhacker too. Bushwhacker is just kind of another random plan. Man, a lot of
yeah. I
people
guess
I
you
love
just you
Bushwhacker decks.
you can tutor it with matron when you need it. All right.
All right, well that's it for the tournament. Any final thoughts for you?
This season was pretty fun, but it was a little bit too long, and it was not as innovative as it maybe could have been. Uh, so, you know,
Yeah, I
not
mean,
not an all timer, but not nothing atrocious either. Pretty fun. So,
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the season. I had a really successful run, honestly, because I played Dreadnought. And it's really weird to like have a deck that I wouldn't say like I never will claim that I built it. I just like I will claim that I put it into prominence in some certain ways. But when I used to play the deck, it was not the best deck, and now when it
yeah,
is the best deck, it's very like it's been a lot harder to like navigate through all that. So the fact
for
that
sure. It's got
the fact
when you have the target on your back.
yeah, so it's I'm like pretty happy that I made top four. I mean I love the win, but like making top four is like pretty sick for me.
For
But
sure.
the season was really long, but there were some good spots. I think you're right about like when you have like these decks like Dreadnought where like it was the best deck, even though it didn't win today, but it definitely does like skew the metagame in a weird way where it's like well you have to like prepare for it, but like it did push out like a couple of like random decks. But it didn't
Yeah,
like, and that's what metas are about. That like, even though there's not a lot of innovation, then you find the answers. Like people were playing like White Weenie later, like Cathartic
yeah,
Commando got really hot. Like Red decks were like you said, like with you, they're playing Raise the Effigies or a Braids
yeah,
going up. So like that in that instance, I liked the adaptation from like the more
sure.
spikier players. That in that instance, I like that. Not that there was any like new decks. I think like the newest what is the newest deck I maybe see? Maybe like the Teamer off the top of my head, like the Teamer Joke Opposites. That's a new kind of a newish list because like
Yeah.
Blood Red Elves just came back, so now they're playing more Cascade style decks. Do you remember that like one Cascade deck, which was like Blood Red Elf Charlotte Sage, but they also played the Ethersworn, the MH2 like nine
Oh,
drop Cascader
I
with
vaguely saw that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a card that you could play with Jogo Hops because you could like Cascade into Jogo Hops
into it, and then you'll
and
still
then
have this
cast it.
this
Yeah.
after. Yeah,
So
that's actually kind
that
of cool.
yeah, that was the cool part about that. I wish people played that list more, but
Yeah, that's something that seems underexplored.
um
It's always the case though in PD that like there's always some things that are like good, but just like stay underexplored because the player base is just like too small to like because people just play their pet decks, which is perfectly fine. People should play their pet decks, but it's like there's always going to be some stuff that's like just not anybody's pet deck, and then nobody picks it up. I mean, that's basically how cycling is for sometimes. Like nobody plays it sometimes. Like for a long time, like nobody plays it.
yeah.
So
But yeah, I think
yeah,
like cycling if slip out the back stays is where it is all the time, it's gonna be like cycling where it's like, well, it's just there, so now we have to deal with it. Maybe it
yeah,
falls out of favor, but it's gonna be like one of the better things you can do. So
yeah. There were definitely periods of time where even where the Slipknot deck kind of drifted out of favor a little bit. Like it wasn't like there was some tournaments where nobody played it. So
Yeah, I think and I think it's just like because the playing Dreadpool is so like awesome and accessible, like you just play
yeah,
whatever. So like
yeah,
you can just you're not like when they like you played modern, you just have like oh my god, I bought all these like I'm just gonna name it like I bought all these Ragavans and I bought all these like Dragon whatever Force Indications. I have to play blue red, you know. You're like
yeah,
you're like monetarily invested in it. Hey, Dreadpool, you
for
can just do
sure.
whatever you want, and that's why the format's awesome because
Yeah,
like the cost, the opportunity cost is very low, and you know you kind of just figure it out as you go. So
yeah,
yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, I'll let you go. Thanks for joining. Thanks
yeah.
for
Thanks
playing.
for having me.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, of
fun talking,
course.
and congrats on your top four.
Thank you.
I'll
Congrats on
do
your
that.
top 16. Where I put
Thanks.
you. Where I put you.
Exactly. Put me in my place. Yeah. All
No,
right.
all
Take
right.
care.
Yeah, check it
Bye.
later.